Hey, we're live, guys. We're here. If you're on Facebook watching us, this is us starting up our recording and stuff, and we're here to talk about a huge movie that's just along the lines of Avengers. That's been a long time coming.
Peter Rabbit.
You know what? I wish it was Peter Rabbit, but no, it's Black Panther.
How dare you?
First off, I'd like to say that how dare you say that this movie is on the lines of Avengers when A, I don't see any white people. B,
First off,
I don't see no
Iron colonizer.
First off, I'd like to say that how dare you say that? Don't you try to correct me, sir? Okay, don't you try to correct me, because when you and I walked into the movie theater, I don't know what I said. I was like, making fun of African people. Not even making fun of African people, just like talking like them. And I was like, I was telling you have to use the long word for it. You can't use the short word. You can't say cop. You have to say constable. You can't say judge. You got to say my lord. You got to use the whole inflection of it. So when we heard colonizers, you lost your shit. You lost all of your shit. Oh my God, that was hilarious. But nah, man. More importantly, Donald Trump don't care about Wakanda. I just need to get that out the way. Get that off my chest.
Oh my God.
Hey, Donald Trump doesn't care about America.
That's true.
Dude.
Donald Trump doesn't care about his own fucking children. What are you talking about?
Donald Trump don't care about the family dog. What do you make you think?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, can I be real about this though? All right, so joining us today is our usual suspects. We got Sam. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, you guys?
We got Prime. He's here.
Guten Tag.
He was ducking and dodging spoilers like the devil. Apparently, he was muting a lot of shit, so that's why he was silent.
Boy, I went completely radio blackout. Like the week before Black Panther came out, I went on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and went, you know what? Mute, block, mute, block.
I like how the comic book head who can pretty much guess and be correct about the plot of Black Panther is like, don't tell me. I find it very funny.
Well, see, now it's 50% I was avoiding spoilers, and 50% I was avoiding fucking think pieces and dumb shit.
Well, yeah, you can't dodge think pieces there. That's
dude.
Because I saw like one got through my filter that actually like fucking pissed me off. I only saw the headline, and it was like, did the Black Panther movie really need Everett Ross? And I went, why, yes, of course, a Black Panther movie needed a Black Panther supporting character. How fucking dare you?
So, lastly, we got Mr. Joe here. What's going on, man?
AKA the only white person on the phone call here.
Hey! You are the Martin Freeman of this podcast, sir. And you know what? He played a vital role. Speaking of which, that was a hot take I saw too. So you mean to tell me that the white man had to help us out anyway? I bullshit you not.
Hey, you know what? Let's start it off here. Let's start it off.
Kill
here.
me.
All right. I find it funny, and I knew it was going to happen because, hey, look, and it doesn't matter the race. Let's be real about this. We tend to kind of exaggerate a lot of shit before the movie comes out, and then when the movie comes out, we sit there and tend to like nitpick stuff. I'm all for nitpicking because, hey, look, that's the basis of criticism. But like this was like ridiculous stuff, and it was on both sides. It wasn't even like the people that were negative on the movie. There were people on a positive movie that was just saying a lot of like, okay, guys, pump your brakes. The whole thing with Killmonger, and somebody literally said it echoed toxic masculinity, and I was like, time out. Last I checked, Killmonger was equal opportunity. He'll kill anybody. Last I checked. I mean, maybe I missed something here.
Toxic masculinity?
Yes.
Here's my thing about that. Have you read a comic book before? Have you really read a comic book before? Every fucking villain is like that. Hell, Cersei in the Wonder Woman comic is like that too. What do you mean?
No, but it was mainly like he treated women wrong. I'm like, okay, first off, one of the chicks that was his ride or die chick, she knew the deal. She knew full well she was going to die. Let's just be real. I think you could tell on her face when she said, I'm sorry to him. Like, oh yeah, she knew she slipped.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hence the fucking title, Ride or Die.
Yeah.
Dude, shit. I'm like, when he shot her, it's like villain. Yeah. What was he supposed to say? I'm sorry, baby, I love you, then shoot her? What did you think he was supposed to do?
And then when he choked out, when he literally raised up the old lady, when he said, hey, I want everything burned, it was like, well, how dare she treat her that way? I'm like, if that was a dude, he would do the same thing.
Like, first of all, did you just not see a few minutes earlier in the movie where he just tossed fucking T'Challa off a waterfall like it was nothing and stabbed his father's best friend in the chest? Like, were you not paying attention then? You just what?
I mean, the thing was, he made a statement before he even started with T'Challa. He was like, "Look, I've killed people all around this world." He would say, "I went to this own continent, killed my own people just to be able to make sure I killed you." It wasn't about like It
wasn't about gender.
Women. Like,
it wasn't about race.
Like, yeah. Everybody will burn for me to be able to get this initiative set from what I need for this to happen. Like, he made that. That was a direct quote from him before he even engaged the conversation. That's stupid.
But it was like he choked out the woman, and I was like, no. He literally was like, hey, when I tell you to do this shit, you better do it. I mean what I say. And I was like, you know what? He would have did that to a dude. In fact, I think if it was a dude, he probably would have killed him after he choked him out. So I'm just saying, he was equal opportunity. It don't matter if you're a man or woman. I mean, and really double down, he kept the Dora Milaje intact. He didn't fucking disband them and put dudes in place. He's like, you know what? This is working clearly, so I'm going to keep y'all guys in place.
Yeah, because he easily could have, like, disbanded them and kept with Jabari's group. Or not Jabari, but...
And was it
Daniel Kaluuya's group.
Yeah.
He could have easily stayed with them, but instead he was like, no, like, I'm going to keep y'all in place because y'all are efficient.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't get the toxic masculinity. People going into the politics and stuff, trying to correlate it to real world. I'm like, in the world where there's Avengers, you can't correlate if what would T'Challa do? Would he give weapons to Syria? And I'm like, I don't know. We don't know the status of Syria in the MCU. I don't know.
I mean, I kind of get it, but like, I don't want it to be what I think it is.
I mean, we're gonna get fucking damn Latveria at some point. Like, I can't. That's why I can't question if T'Challa will give weapons to Syria. I really can't.
I mean, when you start bringing in like real world politics, not even so much real world politics, when you start going into this avenue of like the villain is doing villainous shit, and therefore we should boo the villain. I don't get your damn argument. I really don't. I get lost at that point. When you start yelling at me about, like, oh, Lex Luthor did this. Well, he's a villain. Oh, why the Joker do that? Because he's a villain. Why did Bane kill that baby? I'm surprised he didn't kill 3 of them. What did you think was going to happen? Like, I don't understand. I hate that idea. And
I don't know. I'm like, I'm noticing saying a lot about in pop culture where people feel like if they like a villain, like they want to like justify their actions. Like, I got into this discussion with somebody who's a Poison Ivy fan who was upset during the flashback arc and the jokes of the war of jokes and riddles in Tom King's Batman, where Poison Ivy was killing people, and they were like, well, Poison Ivy would never do that, and blah blah blah. I'm like, whoa. First of all, you do realize Poison Ivy is a terrorist, and she doesn't give a fuck about you or your life. Do you have chlorophyll in you? Like, do you have chlorophyll in you? No. So she says, fuck you, beast. I'm all about that fauna. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just because you like the character doesn't mean you have to, like, justify or find an excuse for the character. Like, personally, like, I like fucking Black Manta, Dr. Doom, and Lex Luthor, and Sinestro. But I recognize those are fucking horrible assholes, and I would, like, not even try to find any justifications for their actions. Like, I can like them as characters, but not try to redeem them or see them as human. You know what I'm saying?
And I think you read about that, especially when you look at Sinestro. Sinestro is, oh God, he's Hitler level. He's almost Hitler level.
No, he literally, he took over his whole fucking planet and turned this shit into a fucking straight up dictatorship.
But here's the sick part about that. You get where he's coming from. You understand where he's coming from. And yeah, it's from a fucked up view, but you get it because you're along with the ride. You want to see how it ends. You want to see if he succeed, or you want to see if it all come crashing down. Either way, you're there for the ride. You don't buy a ticket to go see the hero. You don't go buy a ticket to see the hero just like, go OP on everybody the whole entire movie. What type of movie is that?
This is a North Star.
You have to see the villain do something really, really villainous for you to root for that hero even more. You know what I mean? And if that thing was Killmonger shooting somebody in the head, or Killmonger saying, hey, we're going to kill all the white people. If that is the thing that pissed you off, well, guess what? The nigga didn't win in the end, man. So what are you mad at?
Which I got to be real. Let's segue that into Killmonger himself. I like him. Flawed fucking damn plan when it came down to it because it was anger, but I like him.
I mean, flawed in fucking general. I mean, I think I saw one of my favorite quotes. Someone called him a hotep libertarian.
Yeah. By the way, Chris, I saw what you did. You tried to defend him. I understand. That was more of you defending Creed's son than actual Killmonger.
That is
but
true.
He was,
that is true. I'll admit that.
Yo,
I will wholeheartedly admit that.
Real talk.
But I got a question. Real talk. I got a question. Real talk.
All right, go ahead.
So let's take Killmonger. Let's take everything he did. Let's take his motivations, his backstory, and all that, and everything from the movie. Mm-hmm. But instead of it being Michael B. Jordan, let's say it's somebody who looks like Flavor Flav. Do you think he would have gotten the same bump from
Hell no. Hell no. Yo, Prime. If he came out there looking like Coney, we would have said, kill this nigga today.
Hey, here's the litmus test, right? Swear to God, I saw some chicks that literally said when Michael B. Jordan choked that lady and said that line like, hey, when I tell you what to do, you gonna do it and stuff. They was like, I'm pregnant now. And I was like,
don't tell me that shit. Don't say that.
Wow, okay.
Chris, you didn't hear that girl? You didn't hear that girl in the movie theater when that happened? We're like, yeah, daddy.
Oh my God.
Wow. No bullshit. I'm not even joking. I was like, wow,
damn, sit your vagina down now.
See, that's how shit gets started. See,
Hey, look, man. Hey, when you have a good-looking bad guy, that's what happened with Loki. Loki killed motherfuckers left and right, but hey, he's hot.
Like, exactly. Because I like this character, I have to find them justify their actions and like feel like you can. Like, I can't stand this shit. Like, Loki is fucking. I saw so many fucking think pieces going, oh, well, he was treated like a redheaded stepchild. No, the fuck he was not. Like, oh, Oda didn't treat him right because he was his natural born child. You are a motherfucking liar. You did not watch the same movie that I watched. Loki is just a fucking asshole because that's what Loki is.
Dude, you know what girls do? My wife just told me. They still look at that clip of him at Comic-Con and go, okay. Yo, he's evil.
Actually,
evil.
Time out for a second.
Kill us all.
Time out for a second, right? All right, so Joe, what did you think of Killmonger? In the greatest scheme of bad guys that you've seen in movies and these comic book movies so far?
Are we talking about the character or the whole portrayal and everything?
Oh, no, the character and stuff, just overall, like in the movie and stuff.
I'd give him, I'd say he's one of, if not the best MCU villain I've seen. And I kind of exclude Loki because Loki, like, fucking moonlights as a hero sometimes.
Yeah.
So, and I'm talking MCU, not Netflix or anything like that, because I still like Kingpin and Cottonmouth and everything. But MCU villains, man, it's hard to make an argument he's not number one. Because, you know, I mean, his intentions are good, but he's an asshole. And he's really fucking flawed. But then when he gives that speech at the end about being with his ancestors that jumped from the ship, first of all, everybody was like, oh, shit. Because you don't expect that kind of talk from a Marvel movie or a Disney movie. But, you know, I mean, like, the way he was portrayed, I think Michael B. Jordan is far better as a villain than he is a hero. You know, he's got the swagger, that fucking kid oozes charisma, and the character, to me, he and T'Challa were almost like Magneto and Professor X. I mean, ultimately, they wanted the same thing once T'Challa kind of came to that understanding of what happened, but they didn't want to go about it the same way. Yeah. So I agree with you guys. Like, he's doing villainous shit because he's a fucking villain, but at some point in the movie, you're like, he's not wrong. You know? Like, fuck. He's not wrong.
Well, I mean, he is wrong because he's coming from a place of anger and hatred, and ultimately his goal is to replace one shitty system with another shitty system, and I can't get jiggy with that shit.
Hey, look, I was shocked and I told D this too. I was like, yo, I'm shocked Disney more or less co-signed Coogler literally putting Killmonger saying kill Whitey without outright saying kill Whitey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, if the message had just been, I want to arm the defenseless so they're not defenseless, I feel like a lot of people would be like, well, I mean, fuck, it's, you know, I mean, it kind of makes sense. But then if he continues and goes, well, I want to arm them so they can overthrow what they have so then I can come in and it's like, well, he just fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, man. I have a hard time, you know, making an argument that he's not the best. In terms of MCU alone, I mean, obviously Thanos comes out in a couple months, but, you know, just his motivations, the way he was portrayed, you know, the way he kind of went in there and just beat the fuck out of T'Challa, like everything that Michael B. Jordan did with that character, was fuck, man. I mean, that was about as perfect of casting and portrayal for that role as I think I've seen within Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing of it is, like, the one thing I wanted out of this movie was like, yo, I need Killmonger to put hands on T'Challa like he does in the comics, to where T'Challa basically has to beat him by luck.
Yeah, like T'Challa, I think in the comics, he's never beaten Killmonger straight 1-for-1.
He's like 0 for 16 against him and shit. He has not won
like,
yet.
Killmonger beats the shit out of T'Challa, man, on a regular.
That is like, and that's what made it so good when he beat him at the end. It's like, oh, that was luck. Because it was like, yo, Killmonger was giving hands.
That was just straight strategy.
He got
you know what they did really well with him too was he wasn't just like some pissed off fucking guy. I mean, he was, but like even in the beginning when he's talking about when he's in the museum, they made Killmonger very fucking smart. Like he's a very, very smart guy. He's very cunning, and I like the fact that he wasn't like, oh, I'm just some angry guy, and I made my way to. The fact that he aligned himself with Claude, knowing that he's going to use him as his ticket into work. You know what I mean? Like, everything was premeditated, and by the end of the movie, you could see how he worked everybody. He was basically an operative for the America, but then he was using that to get next to Claw, and then using Claw to get him, you know what I mean? Like, he was very, very fucking smart. And... here's a question. When he puts on that mask that he gets at the museum, did you guys get a Mephisto vibe from that?
Yeah, that was supposed to have been based off of the mask there. I guess it was based off of Mephisto's thing from the Priest run. Because I gotta reread Priest's run because it's been a while, but I do remember Mephisto being part of that run for a minute.
Well, I thought it was based off that mask he had in that gold armor he used to wear.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I think it is and stuff, but I think it was like the hint of it in the comics was based off of Mephisto a little bit and stuff, and then later on it was kind of like that same design in the comic. Like later on he had another design that was kind of based off that. So it is kind of a little Mephisto, but yeah, it is kind of based off of what he wore in the comics as well. So, because people forget too. Yeah, I become Black Panther in the comic for a hot second.
Yeah. Like that shot of him lifting up T'Challa over his head over the waterfall, that's lifted straight from a panel from was it Fury, Rage of the Panther?
Yeah, Panther's Rage.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I do have a question for you guys though. So when he overtakes T'Challa, he very specifically says, "I want the throne and I want to be Black Panther," right?
Yeah.
And then when T'Challa goes into Shuri's lab and she shows him the two pendants, the one with the gold and the silver one. She's basically saying, like, I've upgraded your suit, pick one. So he's like, I like the gold, but it's a little too gaudy. I'm going to go with the silver. Seemingly, the gold is an alternate Black Panther. So why the fuck, when Killmonger puts it on, does it have leopard spots?
I'm guessing he might have upgraded it, maybe.
I didn't know.
Show me that. Show me that shit.
But we never actually saw T'Challa actually activate the gold one. It just was just the pendant. We never saw what it actually really looked like.
Yeah.
But why would you give the Black Panther a suit with spots?
Yeah, that was. I think that was. I think the only reason why was because they were trying to homage, like, again, Priest's run where he had like the gold like little thing. But yeah, that I could only assume that maybe he got somebody like he either tweaked it and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of like, can I get like a little small scene, just like, hey, you tweaked it, boom, all right, cool.
But I'm like, hold up, you wanted to be Black Panther. You are the king, so technically, you are the Black Panther. Why the fuck you run around with a Golden Jaguar or suit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was the one thing in the movie where I was like, wait, what? You just said you want to be Black Panther. Why the fuck do you have spots?
Well, I don't think it was so much him wanting to be Black Panther. I think he wanted to take everything that T'Challa had. He wanted to take his kingdom. Sure. He wanted to take his kingship. He wanted to take his ability of being able to protect his group of people. You know what I'm saying? I think that, honestly, why would you want to become the very thing that killed your dad? And another thing about this film is that Sterling K. Brown came out of nowhere. I didn't even realize
that shit.
His influence behind it, because everything about what he brought to Eric platformed the whole entire movie. And even that cutscene, when he was sitting there talking to him about all the different things that, the minority has been subjugated to. And he's like, I can't take this no more. We need to do something about this. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo, Sterling K. Brown, he just nailed it, man.
Once he gets,
he can do no wrong.
Once he gives you with them tears, that's when it's like, oh shit, it's about to get.
I didn't see no tears. You were hoping for the tears. I didn't notice the tears. I noticed the watery eyes.
When he was talking to Killmonger,
I noticed the watery eyes.
When he was talking to Killmonger on the fucking ghost plane and shit, and he hit him with them tears, and Killmonger started crying a little bit. I was like, oh shit, there you go.
That was the last thing he did. That was the very last thing he did, because he said to him, you know, like, look what I've done. You know, and that's when Killmonger was like, well, no, they're the ones that need to change. Then he looks down, and then the tear just goes down. That's when he wakes up. That was the very last thing we saw was Sterling K. Brown, just that one tear.
Well, I don't know. It could be because
But I've seen this movie 4 times. So
it ain't. It's not that I didn't notice. It was more of those things where Chris, being with him, there are certain people he likes. There's always a money shot with them. Yeah. And his money shot with Sterling K. Brown's like, that nigga gonna cry. It's a coming. There it is, man. Don't you feel it, D? Nah, not really, man. Come on, man. What's wrong with you, D?
Hey, man, that's his thing, man. It's like, yo, that's how he gets of his damn awards. It's like, yo, he gonna cry and hit you right there. Boom.
I know, it's like Viola Davis, man. But you know what?
Viola Davis has snot when she cries. There's a big difference here, sir.
But she go for hers. Look, when it to add on what you said about when it comes to him as an MCU villain, this is not me knocking MCU. This is me knocking their villains. It's not a high bar.
Yeah.
And this is not me knocking Killmonger either. I said him and Zemo are the exact same type of villain to me. They both have reason. They both have follow through, and they kind of make sense. So all you have to do at that point is nail your role. While I think Zemo, here's the funny thing. While I think Zemo's a better villain, I think Killmonger, and it could be just because I'm black and I kind of do agree with what he was going with. I think he nails it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can, I'm not. It's hard for me to take myself out of, take my feelings out of it. But that was so much of his role, and that's why a lot of black people are taking it that way. Like, yeah, Killmonger was right. Sure, he was kind of right. Kinda. Note what I said. Kinda. He was right in the sense of, yo, for real, Wakanda. You do realize that Africa is literally an AIDS blanket, right? You do realize that, right? Y'all ain't did shit yet. See, I get that. But at the other hand, when you start saying, hey, we're going to weaponize every nation so they can take over the governments. Okay. And then when I come in, okay, see, this is what Castro said, motherfucker. This ain't going to work.
Yeah,
this is not going to work.
It was because that's the one thing that kind of get lost, because I told D this and it finally happened. I was like, yo, these fucking hoteps are gonna fucking be Killmonger. They're gonna fuck up what Killmonger was doing and thinking that he was 100% right, and they're gonna realize, and that's what ended up happening. A lot of these fucking dumbasses was like, oh, Killmonger was right, man. He was right 100%. I'm like, hey guys, he kind of his message kind of went downhill once he started letting his anger and emotions get the better of him. Just saying, just put it out there.
Yeah, you kind of lose the ground to stand on when your platform is built off of genocide.
Yeah. I mean,
it never works, and that never works. And here's the thing: I get in so many words the idea of eradicating evil. That makes sense. I think everybody can agree with that. You want to eradicate the evil that's in there, but when you say let's kill them, then their children, then their wives, and while we at it, let's get the neighbors that they like. While we at it, let's burn everything they ever had. How are you any better than the devils that are taking you over right now?
Charlie even told him that when they were fighting on the little train tracks and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, you're no better than the people that like you hate and shit." So
I'm sorry, hey Chris, I couldn't tell with that soft ass voice he had. Yo, T'Challa didn't put no damn bass in his voice.
Oh, D. He did put his bass one time. That's when he was
one time. That one time.
So when
he was pissed off at his dad.
Yeah, he did it to fucking damn Forrest Whitaker like. Hey, you will listen to me. It's like, oh shit, now he got bass. Goddamn.
Oh shit. I'm like, oh shit, y'all. He went from a 4 to a 7. Hold up. But whatever. I mean, but still. But T'Challa said that shit. You cannot. Here's my thing, and we always get in. If you ever talk with a hotep, or the equivalent of a hotep, whatever that may be, you have you have had this conversation. You do not fight fire with fire when it comes to taking over the world or rebuilding a government. You don't fight fire with fire that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It never works. And when you do, all it does is create more bullshit. And I don't know, man. I don't know.
But that being,
I'm just saying.
But it was funny too because it's like when you look at his, it was like, well, Nakia brought up the same point as Killmonger, except hers was just like, let's be peaceful about this shit. Let's be a little diplomatic on this.
And that's the thing that killed me. And you keep on bringing that up, and I tell you not to bring it up only for one reason. The only reason I tell you not to bring it up is because I don't want you to say that, and people mix the message. But people completely forgot what she said. You notice that people when you have that conversation, people have this they completely forget what Nakia said. Nakia pretty much said the same damn thing, but with a softer hand.
Yeah.
It's like that community. We all know about Martin Luther King. But you ask anybody that's ready for war, the first person they quoting is Malcolm X. But Dr. King said the same thing. Man, fuck him. It's like that. It's like that. It's the same way. You forget about the person that had a softer, more kinder, more diplomatic way of doing it than the person who just want all-out war, all-out destruction. That always happens,
and
man.
Plus that little tidbit that Freeman said, his character said, was just like, this guy, like, what he did was all about, like, inciting chaos. So you really kind of, at the end of the day, was like, yeah, he wanted to help black people, but at the end of the day, his ulterior motives is chaos. He didn't fucking care about anything else. He just wanted to incite chaos, and he didn't really have an end game to what he was doing.
The only thing that he didn't do is like the only thing that
he wanted to help.
Well, go ahead, guys.
He wanted to help black people as long as he was in charge.
Yeah,
as long as it benefited him.
You guys out. Yeah,
I don't even know.
I'll give you guys. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I don't even know if I believe that, because the simple fact of him burning all the heart-shaped herb, like, in my head, like, if I'm going to go with the motivations of what he's thinking, like, all right, I want to make sure my lineage at least can be able to, be the next Black Panther, be the next protectors of Wakanda. I don't think he even cared about that, from the simple fact that he burnt everything.
Well,
like,
he was coming out of this.
He burned all them flowers down, but he just burned the ones that was in that little area.
I thought that was the only area in the movie, though.
I'm going to put it like, you be dumb to sit there and I'm not going to say people are dumb, but like, I have to assume that they kind of.
Oh no, you're right. You be dumb if that's the only patch. You be dumb if that's the only patch of flowers you got.
Yeah, I know they have a contingency for.
Why did you not have a backup? What if there was a fire that broke out? You know what I mean? Just accidentally. What if somebody knocked over a lamp? Like, oh shit. I don't care what kind of technology you got. You ain't got no sprinklers in that motherfucker. So what's the backup?
Yeah. So I have to assume that they have more and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I really feel he didn't really plan it far ahead in terms of a lineage afterwards. Because, like, hey, dog, you're going to get old at some point. Just saying. Just saying. So,
But, often those dictators don't. Often those dictators don't. Often they think they're going to be alive forever. Like, before he died, Gaddafi was that way, and same thing with Castro. Castro was that way. A lot of the dictators that go in. Yeah, but he wasn't going to put that motherfucker in charge. Come on now. Come on now. Saddam was like that. They usually think, I'm going to be the leader forever and ever and ever and ever. Eventually, I'm going to die and give it to my stupid ass son. Eventually, when I'm like 95 and blind. That type of crap. You know what I mean? Come on, we see it with Vince McMahon now. Vince McMahon can give it over to Shane. He ain't gonna do that shit.
Vince McMahon gonna be a fucking head in the jar, still running WWE. What is you talking about?
Get off that. That's my company. Come on, that's gonna happen.
That is true. You ain't lying.
Jerry, look, Chris, we're Dallas fans. We're seeing that right now with Dallas Cowboys right now. Jerry Jones ain't gonna give up that team. Come on.
Jones, the only way, Stephen Jones could stab Jerry Jones and he'll die, and somehow Jerry will still be fucking GM of the company somehow in afterlife.
Hell no, he'll stab the motherfucker. He'll stab the motherfucker here. Resurrection. He gets right the fuck back up.
He'll be like, wait a minute, Dad, you can't own the team. Like, your ghost can't own the team. So that's where you're wrong, son. See, I had it in the will that the ghost of Jerry Jones, that's me, will roll it.
Will run the team.
I still own the team.
The Ghost of Tom Land told me so.
Yeah. But people like, see, that's the funny thing. See, that's the thing. Everybody has that type of thing. You know what the funny thing about that? You know, I hate to bring up a DC villain in this, but yo, Vandal Savage probably did that like 4 or 5 times.
Exactly. He has a daughter, I think. I think he does have a daughter.
No, he has
a daughter.
He has Scandal, but like, the rest of his kids, doesn't he like kill them and eat them? Isn't something like that? Yeah, like doesn't he like? I'm pretty sure there's a storyline where like they reveal like he hunts down his descendants and eats them.
Huh.
I feel like that's a storyline.
But you said a daughter. I'm like, a daughter. That's like saying Raish had 1 daughter. Nigga, you know he has a tribe. Come on now.
All right, well, if we're gonna continue on here,
come on.
Let's switch gears over to Shuri, because she was basically the MVP of the movie, essentially.
Are we not talking about T'Challa?
I mean, we'll get to T'Challa. I'm saving him for last. I was just getting to the other ones before we get to T'Challa. So, you know, we ain't going to skip over T'Challa. That'd be stupid. But, yeah, I just want to hit up Shuri because I thought she was the MVP. I'm hearing trepidations on that one.
No, I think that she was definitely the heart of the film. She was the smart younger sister. She was definitely the technological enthusiast. But it was like she, at some point in the movie, I think when she was talking to Martin Freeman, and after she called him a colonizer and then got frightened by him, she started to share, you know, what the technological innovations that Wakanda had openly. And it was like, I started to understand, like, man, she really cares and is passionate about her craft, and so she's willing to help anybody and everyone. And so from that scene right there, I was like really captivated by her. I was like, yo, she legitimately is a big part of the heart for T'Challa. And at the same time, she's a big contribution to Wakanda too, because she's always been. Oh, I think when M'Baku, he came up to her first, was like, "Y'all trust your technological advancement with this child," and she's got to be thinking that in the back of her head, like, "Man, is that how everybody else sees me?" So I thought that she was a really big heart. I mean, I know she's a favorite. I don't know if she is the best, but I really enjoy it. Really good.
I mean, I know they changed up her big time on her back.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. Like, I don't know if I call her MVP. Like, on my second viewing of the movie, like, right after the Q scene but first of all, let me just comment on, like, I love that whole sequence when T'Challa was in her lab, and you know, the whole South Korea mission. I felt like this is probably going to be the closest we get to a Black James Bond in years, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
But upon my second view of the movie, when she did the whole what are those things? I finally understood, like, she's sheltered. Like, she lives in a fucking bubble. So once I took a step back and looked at her from that perspective of, like, she's a princess, she's living in this bubble, she has all this responsibility thrust on her, and she literally is just a child. And can you imagine the weight that is placed on her on, like, you know, hell, not even a daily basis, but like an hourly basis, like the weight, responsibility. Once I reconceptualized her from that perspective, I really liked her character. Again, I don't know if I would say if she's an MVP, but I see there's a seed there.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be interesting because I know in the comics she has like different powers now to where she can like.
Yeah, and she's a lot more politically minded in the comics than she was in the movie. A lot more. I think the word I can use is ambitious. Would that be a fair word to use for comic book Shuri?
Yeah.
Yeah, ambitious. Probably she's actually more mature. There's way more maturity because it's almost. I want to say there's almost a different character, but you know the formula of her is like older and she knows what's going on in Wakanda, everything and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I think that they're kind of treating her kind of like Spider-Man for Spider-Man Homecoming. They're trying to let her evolve into the MCU. So she's going to be a lot more influential later on. So they're trying to draw this out, I think, for the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the long term.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What'd you think of Shuri, Joe?
I mean, I like the character. I realize that she's different in the movie. But, I mean, that's going to happen. Like, they change everything. And, if this is the change that they're going to put in place for her, I'm okay with it. You know, I like the fact that her and T'Challa very much played, you know, brother and sister, where she's kind of giving him shit when he comes back, and even during the ritual combat, she's like, "Can we fucking like not do this?" You know, I like that she kind of has like a wider scope. You know, like, come on, man, this shit's like, this is ridiculous. Like ritual combat, you know what I mean? And like, he's right about when she calls him a colonizer, but then she openly shares, you know, all the, not the technology, but basically what's going on. It's like she loves what she does. She's passionate about what she does. And, you know, she does want to share her knowledge with the world. And, you know, I mean, I kind of took it as like when Killmonger came in and was like, we're going to arm these people, and then when T'Challa said, we're going to help these people, I kind of feel like she was in the background like, yeah, I fucking told you guys that like 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, she's kind of like, I've developed all this shit to kind of help everybody. You know, help Wakanda first, but that's just the vibe I got from her, was like, she was kind of in the background like, you guys are arguing over some shit that I thought of like a year ago.
Yeah.
You know, like, those, what were those little bracelets they had? What were those called?
Yeah,
but like even that shit, like when Ross got shot and then T'Challa puts that thing in his spine, I mean, that's technology that she developed to stabilize, you know, a severe gun wound. And then when he shows up, she's, you know, pulling up that 3D thing of his spine, and she's like, yeah, he's fine. You know what I mean? Like, so I took her character as developing these things, yes, to help Wakanda, to help the Black Panther, et cetera, but I kind of looked at her as having a wider view of like, look at the science and the medicine that I've built, you know, we can help the world. So maybe I'm wrong, but that's just kind of the impression that I got from her. And then like, you know, I like her humor, I like her jokes. I don't know how the fuck she got dressed so fast at the end, you know, in that battle gear. She managed to paint her face. Right, she managed to paint her face and shit. Like,
black girl like, magic.
Yeah, they walked up a flight of stairs, and that bitch got dressed and painted her face in about 14 seconds. And that's some Wakanda shit right there. Maybe she had like a necklace that had that shit in it too, but I don't know if I'd call her the MVP. Honestly, like, okay, I kind of think fucking. I
guess. I don't know.
Honestly, dude, I think fucking Manape was kind of the MVP, or excuse me, M'Baku.
You know what? Yeah. I mean, look, okay, so I said it with M'Baku. I was like, okay, Winston Duke, he had charisma as M'Baku, and I really think, and maybe this is the selfish part of me, I was like, he could have pulled off that fucking Mayonnaise costume. He got enough charisma to do it, and you got.
I thought that was him off the break, though. I thought that was Mayonnaise off the break, to be honest with you.
No,
I'm gonna be real.
The
second I heard the news from the mountains, I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, I have to agree with Joe. Like, I think that M'Baku was probably my MVP of the movie. And going in, like, I think we had the discussion a while back. Like, if they didn't have the balls to have a Chinese Mandarin, they bet the fuck not have called him Mayonnaise.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
Oh,
they did
there's no fucking way.
They did.
There's no way.
They did back out on Fu Manchu Mandarin. So you're right.
Yeah. And so, like, even though he's a little more.
One too?
Huh?
What's that?
You can't do a fucking Asian or any kind of, you know, whatever ancient one. You don't do a fucking Asian Mandarin. You're not calling that guy Mayonnaise. It's like,
you bet. Yeah. I would have fucking rioted. Some shit would have been burned. Please believe that.
I don't know about burning, Prime. You probably would have been begrudgingly just like, I guess this is bullshit. But
if not burning, there would have been a couple of tables been flipped. Something was gonna have to happen. But that said, like, even though I'm kind of partial to the antagonistic man-ape from the comics, like I said, like, this guy really stole the show with his personality. And like, have you seen the meme going around like, we're gonna bark at white people who's speaking out of turn now?
Son, I'm all for that. I've been waiting 3 years for y'all motherfuckers to do that. I've been starting that shit.
I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure Titus O'Neil cracked a smile during the course of this movie when he watched it.
Every cue. Every cue has already. We've been waiting, man.
Finally, about time.
Hey, I thought we were the only motherfuckers doing this shit. Had to take a movie, y'all do it.
He really did steal the show. Like, I know they showed in the trailer, but him grabbing one of the fucking border tribe dude and just grabbed him with one hand. I was like, oh shit. All right, well damn.
You know what? It's funny. I can't call him MVP. Not in my book. You know, I think everybody has different reasons and all that. He was fun. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't in the movie enough for me to call him an MVP. I did say there was a weird arc with him where, you know, he didn't like T'Challa, but he was doing anything to help out the greater good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the only thing I didn't like about it was the bullshit that he pulled saying, we're not going to help out your tribe. I was like, he going to be here. He going to be there in the end of the fight. We know where that's coming. I hate that shit. Always, it doesn't matter what movie I see, when somebody's like, of course we're not going to help you. We're enemies of you, blah, 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 all that bullshit. And then here they come over the horizon. Yeah! Like, we knew you was going to fucking show up. Shut the fuck up. We're doing that since motherfucking Westerns, dude. We know that shit.
I didn't know he had women in his tribe. That threw me off, because I thought it was just all dudes. I was like,
sexist.
I mean, I would hope there would be some women there, because where the fuck are they all coming from?
True.
Exactly.
Look, dude, you see how big them dudes are? You know, like 5 big
Exactly.
Come
My
on,
man's
man.
not throwing a sausage party up there. Come on, man. He's got some big ass chicks, some big ass thick women up there.
No, but the only reason why I said that is because when I went to Waterfall, I didn't see any of the women that part of the tribe there. So I was like, where are the women at? I was like, okay.
Hey, real
They're
talk.
probably killing some shit. That's what
They're probably up there either killing mountain goats and shit like that, or B, you know, just be real. Y'all ain't allowed to come down. That's their rule. Look, that's their rule, okay?
Or they're fucking.
Nah, y'all stay up here. We go down there, we're gonna fight T'Challa, we're gonna come back with a Black Panther mask. And you know one of them chicks, look, you know one of them chicks like, you know what one of them chicks said? You ain't coming up with shit, nigga.
And, 2 hours later, so where that mask at though? Where that mask at, M'Baku? Man, shut up, man. We talking this shit. M'Baku. But where it at though?
No, bro, you got it wrong. We got up there, all the girls are just quiet. So y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Nah, you said you gonna come back with the mask and give us daddy dick. Well, guess what? 2 things ain't happening tonight. That man.
Not today.
Like, dude, I don't know. But for me, yeah, I like Shuri. I thought she was fun. For me, she was just more fun. Yeah, if you want to call her a Disney princess, knock yourself out.
Reach. I'm just saying.
No, here's my thing. Only reason I hate it when see, if I didn't accept because there was a bunch of people that said it. Yeah. If I didn't accept Black Widow as a Disney princess, what makes you think that I'm going to do it with her? Even though technically she is one. But I don't know, whatever. But it was kind of funny when I was interviewing Nate Moore. He did mention that they was going to put elements of James Bond in there and trying to like really have some type of tone for that. And the first thing I saw when she started showing them the different suits, I was like, "Holy shit, he was right." So yeah. That kind of, that kind of was like, "Oh, that kind of shocked me." But I understand why people, if she won your MVP, understandable. Because I was like, Joe, when did you put on that makeup? When did you put on that makeup? Don't tell me you got Wakanda spray and just sprayed it on your face and you gave instant warrior paint. Don't you dare lie to me like that. Those are earrings and conch shells that had to go with that. Come on,
Black girl magic, man. I'm telling you.
Black girl magic. Boy, get out of here.
Like, you obviously never rode in a car full of women on the way to a fucking club or to a
this is true.
church on Sunday.
I've seen
Come on,
miracles
man.
happen. I mean, I've seen my mom really put makeup on while driving 60 on the Beltway. So,
dude, look, we all comic book
But walking
fans.
upstairs?
Dude, we all comic book fans up here. We all saw Linda Carter spin in a circle for 2.5 seconds and come on with Wonder Woman shit. I think I know where it comes from, dog. Come on now. Yeah. Every woman can do that. Every woman can do that, man.
True that.
Now, the only thing I did complain about was not her fighting ability. I didn't give a crap about that. Was that Killmonger, who has rolled over everybody so far in the movie, meets up with Shuri and Nakia, and he can't take neither of them out properly. That one kind of pissed me off.
No, he took Nakia out. That was fine.
I say take her out. Look, dude. I know this is a Marvel movie, ain't going capping. But I'm like, yo, man, you can at least hit this girl with a good short right and make us think she died, man. Come on. None of that happened. This dude had a tough time. I was mad as hell with that, man. Whatever.
He had the spear right there. And I was like, man, if that spear wasn't there, man, I think Shuri would have took that necklace off, and that would have been like, that's the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, that would have been it. That would have been it, man. That would have been it.
But see, I look at it like this: she built the suit, so wouldn't she have something to counteract it?
Yeah,
you know what
I mean. Those gauntlets did counteract it before he put the spear.
They did. Yeah. They did in a way. I think you know what, Joe. You make a good point. I think it was whoever went into the process of that probably had that in mind. You can tell that they probably had that in mind. I wouldn't say like, if you go into the notes, oh man, she actually had this thing that could counteract it. I doubt that, but I think that was in. You gotta think that was kind of in there. If she built it, she wasn't necessarily going to go over there and like shoot him in the toe and the whole thing falls apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I looked at it. I interpret it like this: she built the technology that shut down vibranium enough to transport it. I figure she just minimized it and put it into those gauntlets, because when she was shooting him, you saw that the suit was starting to kind of dissipate. So to me, it was like, well, you built the railway, so you know how to fucking shut it down. So she would just miniaturize it, put it into the gloves or gauntlets, and then. But I mean, it shuts down the technology. But then you have him behind it, and he's still a bad motherfucker underneath. So it's like, you'll shut down the technology, but he's still gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah, I mean, here's a big question though. Do you see Stark attempting to try to replicate some of this technology in Infinity War?
Yes.
Immediately.
Dude, have you seen the promo art from the so like the fucking suit comes out of the necklace was like, all right, I'll buy that. I don't know why, but I'll buy it. The first thing I thought of was the bleeding edge technology.
Yeah,
he's yet to kind of incorporate. And if you look at the promo art for Infinity War, his suit changes, so he doesn't have weapons on his suit. So like, he doesn't have a cannon that comes out of his shoulder. His arm turns into a cannon. And then there's a clip, I think, from like a Super Bowl thing where he's walking and the shit's coming out of his neck.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
So it's either the bleeding edge technology, or maybe he develops it, she helps him perfect it, whatever. I don't know if they're going to go with the whole like bone marrow thing, but I mean, I want to see her, Peter, Tony, and Bruce together.
You know what? There's got to be some type of connection with any. They're going to string together both technologies. That's going to freaking happen. That has to happen. Because you got to see it's Thanos. They're going against Thanos, and that's the biggest thing. Period. You know what I mean? You're going to have to combine powers in some type of way to take this dude down. And I'm pretty sure the Wakandans are going to be like, no, don't you give this money to this colonizer. And on top of that, and on top of that, all the Stark brand shit is bullshit anyway. We all know it. You know what I mean? So I know they're gonna have their say, but come on, to fight the greater good, because I'm pretty sure that same thing is gonna happen in that same vein of give this man a shield. It's gonna be in that same type of fucking vein. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where it's like, we're going to help Stark, give this man a shield, that type of bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I definitely think that is the bleeding edge, because when he was taking his glasses, like I forget, it was the last trailer they showed. He had his glasses in his hand. As he was pulling it out, like the suit was mortaring around his body.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Exactly the scene.
Yeah, so definitely gonna. Question though for you guys about Ulysses Claw, because I mean I know why he had to die, and I love Andy Serkis. Like I love him just acting live action. I mean I love him and everything he does with motion capture. But I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, am I not wrong when Ulysses Claw turned into pure sound itself? Like, eventually, he got his arm cut off, and then he got into this fight with T'Challa. He didn't make it, but then eventually, from that claw, like, he actually turned into something else. And so I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, you got one of the best capture people in the world, like, the same exact way. So I was curious on what was y'all's take on what they're going to do with Claw. Is he done for good, or you think they're gonna go more of a comic book side of it?
Okay, I put this thought in Dee's head when we came out the theater, and I was like, what if that's a fake body that Killmonger gave them that wasn't Claw?
Because I was real curious. Well, his actual Claw, they kept on focusing in on it so many times, and so I was like, is this how he's gonna come back? Is it gonna come from the claw? Is this actually really what's happening? I don't know. I was just going to pick you guys' brain about it because he did such a great.
No, you were right. It felt like it was a bit of misdirection, but to go what you think and what Chris tried to drop in my head, a part of me is saying that he's not dead. I can't explain why I think he's not dead, but something is. It's almost like it's going to come where. I was just going Andy Serkis is going to Andy Serkis it up. I see that happening. I don't know what the explanation is going to be. I don't think it's going to be bullshit. It might make you smack your teeth, but I don't think it's going to be bullshit. I think he's going to be back.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that, but but I did like Claw in this movie because it did feel like he was kind of like a carryover from T'Chaka's, dealing with them and stuff. So it was like, all right, we got to hold over and stuff. Everything, what's funny? It was another thing about this movie too. Every theory that folks had about this movie, like, oh man, T'Challa's visiting the afterlife, that's a soul gem, didn't happen. And I was like, good, thank you. Don't put that shit in this movie at all.
Yet, yeah. Though I kind of like that isolation. Like, you don't have necessarily. I don't know. Like. I'm with two minds. Like, I really like how the movie was more or less self-contained, and I say more or less because it still ostensibly had those ties to Civil War. Yeah. But like, it didn't have a lot of setting up for the next movies until like the very end where we're going to share the technology. But it wasn't like constantly dropping like Easter eggs, going, "Oh, that's going to happen in Infinity War." You know what I mean?
Oh, thank God.
Oh man.
Wait, I have a question about Claw for you guys. So, Claw showed up in Avengers 2. Sets up Wakanda and everything like that. And then Black Panther comes out in Civil War. So Serkis, to me, which I agree with you guys, I fucking love him. Like, especially when he's in a movie, like actually physically in a movie, like he's so goddamn good, But I'm curious, like, to me, he very much played the same Claw as he did in Civil War, which he should. How different do you think Claw would have been if Coogler had him from the beginning? I like him.
We're talking both arms, like Age of Ultron.
I'm talking, let's say, Ryan Coogler, they were like, all right, you're doing Black Panther, and we're going to give you these characters. You're going to introduce these characters. And let's say Claw hadn't shown up in Avengers 2, and Coogler was the one to introduce him. How different do you think he would have been?
I don't think it would have been any different because I think, at least to the casual fan, the casual fan will probably totally forgot he was in Age of Ultron. You know what I mean? But yeah. I think for us, it probably would have meant a little bit more. So I don't think there was too much. For a lot of people, this will be more of an introduction to him, to what his character can be and what his character is. Yeah. Because in Age of Ultron, he was just there for 4 seconds. Outside of us knowing, us being comic book nerds, we know what the hell who he is and what he's about. Even though it's like, comparing his comic, who he is in comic to this is like almost two different people. Yeah. But I think it wouldn't be too much of a different setup, to be honest with you, Joe. Just in the sense of not too many people. I'm going to even talk about the people that are really into the movies. They probably kind of forgot that Claw was even there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that one thing that if they introduced him into this movie alone, and some kind of way, like the events in Civil War didn't happen. But no, I was just saying that I think that if Ulysses Claw was the person that killed T'Chaka, like in the comics, that would be a direct connection between him and Killmonger. Like, it's like a direct parallel. It's like, okay, yeah, this person killed my dad. You took him out. I know what I need. Like, it would have been so much more interesting if that would have been the subject focus. They brought him into this one. So I really don't know how Ryan would have handled it, but it probably would have been a lot more dynamic emotionally for T'Challa, because then you have the person that killed your dad and then the other person that has been wronged by your dad. And you got this straight up like paradigm shift where it's like, what do you do kind of thing. So it'd been really interesting to see if they would have handled him earlier on, and if the events of Civil War hadn't happened in the way they did. I don't know. It'd be really interesting.
Yeah. You're right about that. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you too. If they, and that's the one that I think I overlooked. If there was like some type of there was like some type of back and forth. Like you said, there was two people that were wrong by T'Chaka. You have two people that have the same type of motivation. If you would have had a little bit more time, yeah. Only thing I'm saying is like the outcome of that, I don't think it would have been any different. That's the only thing. That's the only reason why I probably feel the way I feel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but so Dora Milaje, man, yeah, Okoye, she was fucking doing her thing, man. I mean, I don't know.
Fuck, she might have stolen the show.
Look,
she's my MVP, honestly.
Yeah, she's my MVP too. She's my MVP.
Yo, she
you guys might be right.
Yeah, I'm calling about what we all know her. All hell Michonne.
Yeah, all hell Michonne. I mean, yo, when she threw that wig at dude, I was like, "Whoop, shit's on. Let's go. Let's see what happens."
That was the best part. I'm like, when they started fighting, I'm like, she gonna take that fucking wig off.
I mean,
she snatched that wig off. I'm like, ah.
Yo, that and just her reaction. Here's the thing: there was two facial reactions that I liked from her and stuff. One was when Claw's guys were shooting at the car, and she just had that look of disgust on his face, like, "Goddamn guns, fuck this, gonna go ahead and just kill these guys now. We're done." Then the look that she had,
the primitive comment.
Yeah. Then the look that she had, which I very much understood, when she's sitting down in front of Killmonger when he's king, and just that look of like, God damn it, I gotta serve this motherfucker. Why? The little things.
Was that the dude from Get Out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, fuck, I've seen that guy somewhere.
Man, that dude had a look on his face like, so I ain't gonna get none when I get home tonight, huh?
I know, right?
He knew he fucked up.
The fact that he asked her, "Are you going to kill me?" and she was like, and I'm like, "Of course she is." Like, why would you ask that? What are you doing, dude? Of course she's gonna kill you.
You know, it sucks too. And it was, somebody. I'm surprised no hotel has made a hot about that. See, this is the problem with black women. They don't want to back us up. I'm surprised that was not made yet. I am so surprised.
Next day, Tariq Nasheed all of a sudden says, "See, she didn't want a black king."
Made yet. Well, man, to me, it's crap.
Yeah, but yeah, I think she definitely stole the show and stuff, and just. Yeah, she was definitely regulating stuff. I know a lot of people were getting her mixed up with the two characters in the Black Panther book that were actually a lesbian couple. I don't know why people did that.
I knew a lot of people were, and that's I don't think that's what sparked that stupid ass argument that came out of it. But yeah, I know a lot of people did. Prime, I got a question though, man. Without that vibranium and see these hands, you know that, right?
Yo, so here's my thing about the suits, man. So I said it to the woman, and she thought I was nuts. But I felt like, I think that they made the suit too powerful for the first movie. Like, as cool as that concussive kinetic blast thing was, like, I felt like that was like too much. So much so, in fact, like I think that the filmmakers agree with me. So that at the end, that's what they had both Killmonger and T'Challa fighting on the train tracks where the suits would be neutralized. So the fight just wouldn't be them throwing Hadouken at each other for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah,
and and this has created such an argument. He's like, "Yo, the Wakanda Royal Guard versus the Amazons. Man, they roll over the Amazons. Like, turn them suits off. Turn them suits off.
Actually,
I got 4 Amazons rolling y'all over.
I don't know, man. I mean, you talk. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm about to say they got vibranium spears. I'm like, them Amazons could take them vibranium spears away. So it's about.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Like, and the only reason why I say that, you do realize these Amazons fought gods too, right?
I mean, like, if you take Wonder Woman, if you take Wonder Woman and the Queen out the equation, it'll be close. If you add Wonder Woman and the Queen into the mix, it's like, oh, well, that's a wash.
Well, that's unfair. Fuck. See, that's unfair. You don't.
I was saying, no.
You don't.
I'm gonna be real with you. You drop Artemis in the middle,
and I'll go so far. You don't put Artemis in.
Oh no, you just drop Artemis by herself. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hey. I think we were very much overhyped. Like, oh my God, Dora Milaje, they're awesome. I'm like, yeah, they were fucking awesome. They were doing it.
But they were awesome, and it was fun because I told you right when we was it was actually I said it when we was on we was talking about Black Lightning, the last episode on that. I was saying that I'm over the moon actually not only of how black characters are really starting to be shown in comics now across the board, whether it be Marvel, DC, or whomever. I'm happy because of that, but I'm also happy mainly because there are a lot of black women starting to show up in these comics, and they're all very, very strong characters, and they all are well developed. They all not, and most of them, not saying all of them, most of them aren't weak. They're not basic, and it's very refreshing for me to see that. Now, as a person that writes myself, I always like female characters anyway, but I like them double when they're somebody, at least people I see as beautiful. No, not to no other women. I love black women, period. So when I see them in big roles, when I see them in strong roles, when I see them in roles that you usually give to other kids, like in Moon Girl sense, if Moon Girl was made like 15 years ago, it wouldn't be a little black kid. I tell you that much right now. Yeah. So when I see us get when I see black women get the roles that I think they should deserve, when they get these just all that, I'm tripping on my words here, but when it comes to that shit, like I grew up with my little sister. Me and my little sister watched X-Men all the time, and she was, of course, she's black. She was the biggest Storm fan in the world, and I remember us like going through a comic book store, and that was the only black female you can find in the comics at the time. In 1993, she was like almost the only one. Yeah. And ever since then, that to see it that in like 93 and to go almost 20-something years, 20 plus years to where it is now, it's gotten better. It could be a whole lot better, but what I'm seeing, it looks beautiful. So I had to say that. I love how it looks right now.
That's, to me, that's the best part, because I've seen the movie twice, right? So like the first time I saw it, I loved it because, the story and everything, but you could argue that's the best cast of any Marvel movie that they made to date. And I think that the best part about this movie is that every fucking character in that movie had something going on, or at least had a distinctive look. Like the colors were so rich. The Queen got, she got a moment. Shuri, like the Black Panther was kind of, T'Challa was almost kind of there for everybody to bounce off of. You know what I mean? Like he was the main guy, but he was there for everybody. You were more wrapped up into the world.
You were more wrapped up into the world than actual Black Panther. I made a joke to Chris about that. I was like, "Yo, T'Challa's the star of this shit, right?" So,
I mean, that's a good point. Like, I think I saw an article that talked about how this might have solved this might be the new blueprint for the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward, like how Iron Man was the blueprint for so long. But like if we were to compare the two movies, Iron Man and Black Panther, it was undeniable that Tony Stark was the star of that movie. Yeah. Like it, of course, versus Black Panther, which is 100%, I feel, a really good ensemble piece in the truest sense of the word. Like every character had meat, every character had agency. Like you said, every character had a unique, distinct look. They all had a unique voice, and they all offered something and brought something to the table in terms of story. And it's so weird to say that. And it's so weird to say. I'm sorry. And it's so weird to say that's an actual fucking rare thing in a comic book movie where there is no wasted character. I feel like this movie has not a single wasted character. Now, being a comic book fan, I can also say that the movie, it kind of wasted the potential of some characters, say like Claw or M'Baku. But that's neither here nor there. At the term of how they were presented in the movie, they were utilized well.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the big things. I mean, that was actually a conversation period people had in terms of the whole movie itself. Was like, it basically kind of was like a semi-world, like kind of like Coates' Black Panther, where it was like, yeah, it's about Black Panther, but it's also about everybody else in Wakanda.
But that's the thing I like. Like to me. Okay, so we've been to Malibu, where he's from. You know what I mean? He's from Malibu. We've been to Queens, where Peter's from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And like, dude, I fucking live near Malibu. Like, it's like, all right, cool. Like, it's cool, but it's like whatever. You know what I mean? I guess because we all live in the United States. We've seen Queens. We've seen this. We've seen that. But Wakanda, to me, was the most alive place that we've ever been taken in these movies. I mean, when you get that kind of sweeping shot of like, through that kind of hologram or whatever. Yeah. And you get to see Wakanda, it's like, Jesus Christ, like Wakanda itself is a character, and each of the characters within Wakanda, everything blended in so fucking well. And like, again, the color, I mean, that's the best usage of color. Even the best example I can give you is during the first ritual combat when they're all in the mountain.
Yeah.
Look at the color and the contrast, and like, this tribe wears this. Like, all the tribes had a very different contrasty look to them. And then even in the throne room, he's got the two panthers behind him, like the shapes that they use, like. Ryan Coogler, I read that he brought in his team from like Creed and Fruitvale Station and everything because he's like, I don't want to marvel this up. I'm going to bring in my own people. The best fucking decision he made. I mean, because let's
be real.
Huh?
I think he got a blank check from Marvel, more or less.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, the guy's 3 for 3. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking love his movies, and like, this was the chance. In Creed, he's dealing with, in America, he's working within the Rocky universe to an extent. So his kind of hands are like, all right, I got to stick within this.
Yeah.
But with Black Panther, you're right. Marvel's like, fucking do it. Do it. Here's $200 million. Do it. And everything he did was like, it was impressive to me. And it just to me, it's probably that and Doctor Strange, I'd say, are the most visually appealing Marvel movies I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange, obviously, because of the magic and all that shit, but Black Panther because of the characters. Like, even the fucking guy with the bowl in his lip. You know what I mean? Like, the shit he was wearing.
Yo,
like, I was like, fuck this. Like, this guy's.
The fact that his lip plate matched his actual 3-piece suit that he had on, I was like, damn.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, who the fuck wears, like, mint green with, like, lime green, has a lime green bowl? You know what I mean? I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, like everything in it was so well done. And then because I saw it with my stepdad goes, well, if there's such like a rich country, why are there people living in the fun? And I was like, well, think about it. Like, I interpret it like this. They don't really need money, right? Like Wakanda provides everything. So it's like, look, you can live in the city and be, a city person, or you can choose to live as a farmer. You know what I mean? It's a choice. Like, to me, Wakanda felt like a place of choice. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. If you want to live in the city and you want to have a job, cool. You don't need one.
Yeah.
But you can. If you want to live in the mountains and be a farmer and make and grow your own food, you can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just the whole fucking vibe of that movie was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it was that whole, like, that was my thing too, was like, I like the whole makeup of the elders and stuff like that, because here's a little tidbit that I think people missed out of the whole thing. I think you probably will agree with this on this. Everybody's all like, oh man, Killmonger stuff. Did anybody forget the fact that T'Challa really wasn't going to say shit to nobody about that revelation that he got from, what's his face? Like, he really was not going to say shit, because when Killmonger was like, tell him, he was like, no, I ain't saying shit. Take him away. And I was like, yo, he really going to keep a secret like that? So,
but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, that wowed me out though.
No, he definitely.
But I interpret it as like he was going to keep it a secret, but it's weird because he knows Eric is going to say something. Like, T'Challa's not stupid. He knows that Eric's going to say, I'm the son of Njobu. Like, I interpret it like, I'm not going to say shit because you're going to say shit. And I'd rather them react to you than them react to me. Because if I say shit about my dad, they're going to come at me like it's fucking, whatever. But if you say it, it's better for you to out it than me. It's just, again, maybe I'm just making shit up in my head, but
yeah, no.
That's kind of how I interpret that.
You're on the right track, because that is kind of like, if it came from him, it is kind of him like bad mouthing his dad that he respected so much and stuff. Because you saw it like when he visited his dad again. And he was like, hey, you didn't tell me, like, why didn't you take Killmonger with you after you killed his dad? Like, what the fuck? Like,
right.
You fucked me here.
And to be fair, like, I kind of feel like T'Chaka was like, damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Like, okay, so if I take the kid with me and raise him, it's going to be fucking Loki. But if I leave him there...
Part of me thinks that Killmonger was like, yo, if you took me, maybe I could understand why you killed my dad. Maybe.
Nah, big homie. Nah, man. Eric is full of hate. He's just twisted to the core. if he would have brought him to the Wakanda, he would have been like, "Oh, I'm in the inside now, and I would just built my way up from the inside
real
out."
talk, man. I was like, "Yo, Eric need a hug so bad, but he didn't get that hug. he needed a Solid Snake CQC hug, and he didn't get that
shit. Can we throw in an honorable mention for how fucking good the original Black Panther costume looked?
Man, listen.
T'Chaka suit.
Yeah, you know what? That was John Connie's son, by the way, playing him.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, that's dope. And then the other dude was he played Forrest Whitaker's son in The Great Debaters and stuff. He played young Forrest Whitaker, that dude and stuff. I was like, yeah, I can see it. You know, it's pretty obvious.
Not the best actor though. Not the best actor. Like, it was like, oh, hey, I'm a spy. I was like, all right.
It's like, all right, cool.
Fucking relax, dude. Yeah, all right. It's like, all right. I mean, yeah, I get it, like, but that guy was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, that threw me off because I didn't know that he was actually going to like betray, you know, M'Baku, and I was like, oh shit, Njobu, and I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. All right, well, all right.
But cool. Why did he stab? Like, when he disarmed him, why did he stab him?
Gut reaction, I guess. I don't know.
Muscle memory, because plot.
Because.
I really do think it was like
plot.
Nah, I was talking to my wife about this. I was like, honey, like, that was his brother. That was his little brother. And not to discredit, you know, Uncle James or whatever, but he could have easily took that bullet and then they could have still, you know, you are the Black Panther. You should be able to dismantle him. I think there was a lot of emotions going on. It was an instinctual thing. It's like, I need to stop him. And then it's just kind of like, you know how like you get in the middle of a beef with somebody?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, at any moment, something might pop off and you don't know how something reacts. Somebody ends up shot. Somebody ends up hurt. And I think that was one of those situations. I think Ryan intentionally did that because I was like, you the Black Panther, bro. You should have even been able to dismantle him and stop him from even shooting the guy. Like, I think it was really an emotional response to what was kind of happening. He was in his feelings. He understood that his own brother had hand in killing Wakandans to help out an outsider, which is the very thing he was trying to keep from happening. And I think it was just a reactional thing, but I think Ryan did that really well from a cultural thing. That happens to us all the time. Black on black crime. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Funny thing too, you know, because we were talking about it. So D was mentioning the whole thing about Nakia being kind of very soft in her approach and stuff. I thought Nakia was interesting because it was kind of funny that she was not funny, but like they kept mentioning like you know Wakanda has all these war dogs around the world, and I'm like, they had to have known that somebody was eventually going to be feeling some sort of way. Like, yo, it's fucked up out here. Why aren't we helping these people?
Well, I mean, I guess maybe at this point they've all been, well, fuck them, we got ours. For so long, they didn't think to consider that possibility.
Probably, maybe.
Well, yeah, that's really. It's almost arrogance. It's almost in the same vein of T'Chaka killing his brother, where it's like we are a kingdom that is so isolated that either A, we can't be touched, or if anybody touches us, we can just handle it 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? You cut it off where it's at, and nobody will worry about it. Mm-hmm. It's all, like I said, it's a form of arrogance.
Yeah,
it's a form of arrogance.
I feel like the movie really handled, with some level of sensitivity, the whole African versus African American thing about how, you know, have you guys ever read any papers or read anything about how the view of how the disenfranchised feeling of how come you didn't come get us? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it was, because Killmonger was like, yo, how come you didn't help me? You left me behind. I got to sit there and fend for myself in this world that doesn't give a shit about black people and stuff. And you could have took me to Wakanda and I might have been fine, you know, that kind of shit. So,
yeah, and I don't remember if it was a movie or a book or a TV show or something I read where there was a discussion between a black American and a black African about how if it was any other country in the world, if any other country came and kidnapped their people en masse, like their country would have rose up and like struck back. So
yeah.
It's like that sense of abandonment, like, well, how come you didn't come get us, or how come you didn't give us a hand? Like, I really felt like that's one of the stronger aspects of the movie that I want to see Well, I don't know. I want to know how that now with Wakanda reaching out to the world, how's that going to affect the MCU at large?
You know what? The better question is, what's going to happen when after Thanos is done? You know, elbow dropping the hell out of Earth. We got to see what happens after that. That's the first thing.
We're not forgetting the fact that the Black Order is going to pop up in Wakanda. You know, there's going to be some death, devastation. You already know what time it is. It's like,
consequences and repercussions.
You know what?
But don't you think Thanos coming is going to further? I mean, like, so with the cutscene at the end, or the end credit scene, with them saying that Wakanda is going to come out and share its science and everything, and yada yada yada. So it's like, all right, that's obviously setting up for Infinity War. But then, don't you think the arrival of Thanos will further Wakanda working with the rest of the, you know what I mean? Like, because if we're splitting the movie into two parts, you have to imagine that the first part is Thanos just fucking laying waste to everybody. Obviously, the second part, the Avengers have to win. Blah,
well,
blah,
no, here's
blah.
my thing. I heard that they completely scrapped that plan. Like, I thought now Infinity War is going to be an isolated thing, and Avengers 4 is going to be its own isolated thing.
Wait a minute, what?
That's the last I heard.
Isolated,
the last I heard.
Isolated, not in the sense of like shit in the past does not count, but kind of like, hey, like,
it's no longer like a split movie. Like Infinity War is going to stand on its own as a movie, and 4 is going to stand on its own as a movie.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So you're stretching it out even more, is what you're saying.
Yeah, more or less. It's kind of like, hey.
Well, no, not more or less. Like, as far as if I remember the interview, the comments I read from the Russos, they said like the initial plan was to have it be like a movie part 1, movie part 2, but then they scrapped that and just said that Infinity War is going to be its own standalone thing, and the 4th movie is going to have repercussions from Infinity War, but it's not necessarily going to be part 2.
Which, I mean,
God damn it, you can't get rid of fucking Thanos in one movie.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm going to say that ain't going to happen.
I think it's a situation.
You can't build that shit for 10 years and get rid of him in 2 hours.
Oh, that whole Infinity War movie is Thanos putting hands on everybody, and somebody's going to die, and then the next movie is going to be the aftermath, and like, we got to defeat Thanos. Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's to your question.
What I think.
No, I think that you're onto something. I think Joe brought this up when you were talking about Wakanda at the very end. Like, they're trying to show the world like what they have, so be able to share resources. But I think what's going to happen, unfortunately, is if Thanos comes down there, he's going to look and see what's the biggest threat. What's the most viable resource threat that we need to take out? Of course, the Avengers, but the nation of Wakanda will be the biggest threat, ultimately, which makes sense as to seeing that trailer that we saw in all the different parts of, I forget what those creatures are from the Black Order, just descending upon Wakanda. I feel like they doing that because he knows, all right, we need to take their weapons out of the equation first before we do anything, because they're the biggest threat on the continent, essentially.
I feel it's going to be a combination of, we got to either just so happens that where like Thanos just so happens lands Wakanda because that's where all the Avengers are, or B, I guess he knows what vibranium is, and I guess he knows how much of a threat that is to what he's about to do. So he's going to have to take that out. I think it's one of two things.
Well, why wouldn't he know what vibranium is? It's from space. You know what I mean? Like, to me, of course he knows what it is because it's fucking space. And like, I guess to me, it's like Thanos knows everything. You know what I mean? Like he fucking has eyes everywhere. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's like they've got a mountain of vibranium weapons, and they're sharing vibranium with the rest of the world. If we destroy Wakanda, they can't help the rest of the world. Eventually, those weapons will run out. Yeah. So I think you're right. Like,
I mean, he's on Wakanda basically because, apparently what it is Wakanda's protecting Vision from Thanos, so that's why they rolling up in Wakanda, essentially.
See, I was wondering if the Soul Gem was in the mountain from the comic.
Oh no!
I was wondering if the comic was associated to the Soul Gem.
Like our boy told us, our boy Gary told us straight up.
Everybody in their mom that same thing. But the Soul Gem ain't there then.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing of it is too, people forget it's like, when we see Thanos in that trailer, like that dude already got a stone. Somebody died. So, yeah.
Xandar's fucked. Please believe that shit.
That shit. Xandar's fucked. Like, swear to God, I just want to see a scene where like, yo, that the freaking Nova Prime probably got hands put on her. You already know it.
Oh, that shit is in flames as we speak.
Man, Nova Corps, look, I already said there better be a special part in part 2 where you see like everybody like in slow motion and not much destruction of the Nova Corps piece by piece. It's like everybody's already dead, Gems is missing, or there's just complete chaos over at that planet, man.
John C. Reilly did.
Like, this is already done. They're already done for.
Yeah.
Do you think that Infinity War could lead to, like what you just said, if he goes in there and he just wipes out the Nova Corps? You know, it seems to me like with Captain Marvel, obviously they're going into space again. They're going back in time, whatever. But, like, if Thanos comes in there and destroys the Nova Corps, do you think that we get a movie about Nova where it's about rebuilding?
We damn well better.
Like, yeah, like where they rebuild the Nova Corps.
That would be nice.
I'm not like my feeling is nice. If they were,
I'm not hyped over
smart.
a Nova movie no more.
Oh,
what? It is not. What? I wanted there to be one, but I'm not.
Yeah. I mean,
well, if they're smart, I feel like what they would do with the Nova Corps is after Thanos is done putting his foot up their asses, they might just give Richard Rider like the Kyle Rayner origin where he's like the last Nova with the last helmet.
And see, that's what I'm thinking. They might do something like that because there's no way in the world you're going to tell me that Nova has a foot to stand on after Thanos give them every bit of that fade he's going to give them. So there's no way they're going to be alive. I also
imagine too that they use that stone to try to get a power source to revamp the Nova Corps again. Because I mean, them ships ain't cutting it anymore. They really ain't. I gotta imagine they use it. Cause I mean, think about it. People forget, Stark's dad, that arc reactor was based off of the fucking space stone, basically. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of that's. Oh my god, I can totally forgot about this shit. A lot of Howard's designs were based on his studies from the Tesseract.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody in Nova Corps was like, what could we use really get off this stone here? There's a possibility, but I don't know.
I know we're talking about Black Panther, but all I'm saying, I told you this shit like 6 months ago. At the end of Infinity War, now that the deal is done, all I want to see, Thanos has been defeated. I want to see a fucking end scene, and I want to see the Silver Surfer come into frame and say something like, I found the planet for you, and I want to see some big fucking glowing eyes in the background. And I want them to allude. Because if you're going to do Thanos, and that's the big bad, who the fuck else are you going to get to follow him up? The only character.
And that's why, like, if this thing goes through, you might get people like fucking you're not even going to be, if Galactus, if anything, that might be for something for like Guardians and in the space and stuff. If anything, you might get the time travel dude.
Kang. I think Kang is the only logical next place to go. Like Galactus, I'm old school. Maybe I'm old school, but like I never liked the writing of Galactus as a quote unquote like conventional villain. Like to me, I always agree with like how Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, when they created him, is like Galactus is a force of nature. Like there is no morality in his actions of what he does. Like the motherfucker got to eat. Like that's just the end and be all.
That's why I like the Lifebringer shit from Ultimates. I'm like, oh, thank you.
That shit is dope. That shit is dope. But like I hate how like in later on comics,
big giant, because it's one thing when you're really have a villainous intent of I'm going to destroy everybody I see, and then there's you just being a whale. You got to eat.
Exactly. Like that's why when people say Galactus is a villain, I'm like, Galactus is not really a villain. Like I think he works best when he is just like a force of nature. Like this isn't about good or evil. Like he's not reveling in destruction. It's like, I have to eat to survive.
Yeah.
Get off my back.
Yeah, I mean.
All right. So then, what if? So if you're gonna go the Kang route, what if Captain Marvel, since she takes place in the '90s, so she's 25, 30 years prior to whatever we've seen, you have a cut or an end scene with Kang watching her. You know what I mean? Like from like a time loop or something.
And
that's really the way.
Like if they do Kang just right, like he could be the mastermind of so much fucked up shit.
Man, listen. Speaking of time, so we're gonna talk about Angela Bassett and how she just says "fuck being old."
Son, look, I have this theory where Marvel can get away with the ultimate retcon and nobody will complain. Now I know this is gonna piss off Joe. Joe, you gotta understand, you're not black like us, so I'm sorry on this one.
I thought I was honorary.
You are my friend. But
all right.
check this out.
I'll take it.
I only say this because I like. I don't care really, but just say it, Marvel. Just say she's Storm. Just say she's Storm. Just say it. Just like she tells, all that bad crap is going down in Infinity War Part 2. Just take it to a corner. It's just like, T'Challa, you have to understand who I am. And her eyes glow. She floats in the air. Like my real name was a Robo Monroe. Everybody will lose their ish. They can do it. Nobody's going to say no.
Should be a $2 billion franchise just on that twist.
Do you understand? Do you understand? The only reason why we say that, if you don't understand why I say that, is because everybody has been saying we got robbed when Halle Berry was Storm. We were robbed. That should have been Angela Bassett. And when the second she started talking, I was like, oh my God, and she nailed the accent.
Side note here.
Then she had the gray locks, my nigga. Yo, she still look like she's 39 years old. What is wrong with life? She needs to Storm, bro.
Look, I told D this, and I thought I was going to get a laugh. I was like, look, every Marvel movie up to this point, they always do the special effects. Like, we got young fucking Kirk Douglas and fucking Ant-Man and shit. We got fucking young, what's his face in
RDJ in Civil War.
Yeah, RDJ in Civil War, and in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Well, that was hilarious. That was obvious.
Yeah, got young Kurt Russell.
Yo, hold on. Time out though. So people clowning on fucking Henry Cavill's mustache lip, but ain't nobody said a damn thing about creepy ass plastic face Robert Downey Jr. Okay,
because he's
that was bad.
I just rewatched Civil War. That shit creeped me the fuck out. Like, dude, oh my God.
I said the same thing. Look, dude. I was looking at Guardians recently. I told that to Chris. I'm like, yo, so I understand that everybody like young Kurt Russell, but come on, dude, for real.
It's terrifying.
Well, I think what it is though. Dude, when you see young Kurt Russell, you're fucking mesmerized by that head of hair.
Yeah, it really is. That dude's had that head of hair, man. He's old as shit, and he still has that head of hair. I'm like, how the fuck is he still...
They killed me, though. Yo, Prime, I'm with you. I didn't know a mustache would piss so many people off.
That's what I'm saying. It ain't nobody said a damn thing about bogglehead Scarlett Johansson from Age of Ultron. Not a motherfucking word, right?
Okay. Not a word.
Okay, that's nice. That's fine.
Sure.
But wait. To go what you're saying with Angela Bassett, like, that doesn't piss me, dude. Angela Bassett playing T'Challa's mom was better at playing Storm than Halle Berry was in 3 movies.
You got it.
Here's the sick part. If they did a flashback to the 90s, to the 90s, and we saw her young, you don't even have to do CG for her. It's like, hey, just throw makeup on her. Yeah, we could buy it.
Hey, yo, Joe, for that comment right there, that's why I say you're honorary. That's why you can be on every fucking show with us. I love you for that. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get a Wakanda Forever shirt, and now I'm very proud of myself right now. No, but like dude, did you guys see the fucking trailer for Impossible before Black Panther? She fucking looks like she's 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because she got that weird fucking bowl haircut, but like, God, I was like, God damn, she looks like she's 25.
Dude, and the thing of it is, when they had that Essence magazine with her and Dana and all of them, I was like, man, she's like, they're all the same age. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that picture when they took this shit and they shopped the Girlfriends logo over it? And I'm like, I want this show. Give it to me. Give me I'll take that reboot. Can I have it, please? Can I have it now?
Pretty please.
Dude, I still laugh at that my wife is like doubly angry at Halle Berry.
The Arthur Fist. I already knew she was gonna have the Arthur Fist when you
told
her.
My wife was like, how is it possible that you fucked up 2 beloved characters in a lifetime? You were the worst Storm, and you were the worst Catwoman. How do you do that?
Dedication and money, baby. Dedication and money.
And I know my wife is not the only black girl like that, but for most black women, that's their number 2 and number 1. Catwoman and Storm when it comes to their favorite super.
Oh, damn, you're right as fuck. Holy shit.
And here's the sad part about it, though, right? So remember when I was saying that, that Bassett couldn't do X-Men because of Strange Days? Okay, that was bullshit, apparently. Apparently it's because Fox couldn't afford her.
I believe that. That sounds about right. You got it.
Finally, it makes sense.
Real talk. Wow. Look at that cast of that movie. Look at that. Where did that money go? I can point and tell you where it went. I can point exactly where that shit went.
You ain't lying.
2 fingers where that money went. And explain why we get Ozzy Wolverine and the rest of the crew of nobodies. I'm just saying, being real. I'm just being real.
I mean,
don't get mad at me.
James Marsden's worth a grilled cheese sandwich. So yeah.
I mean, I'm saying,
dude, James Marsden
gave Jackman a blanket and a warm place to sleep. I'm just saying.
Dude, man, they didn't know what they had with John. They didn't know what they had with Hugh Jackman at the time, so they ain't had to pay him a lot, man.
I guess get a man a blanket and a warm place to sleep. That's all he needed.
Joe,
just
man, I know,
beer somewhere to sleep.
Dude, man, I know for a fact, man. That makes no sense, man. But yeah, how do she messed up too? You know what? I feel like it's unfair to say she messed it up, but she got casted. No, look for Storm. No, she had no business being Storm. I think we just dealt with her because she was pretty, and we thought, okay, fine. But Catwoman. Really, Catwoman? She was the only one. The sick part is, and here's the sick part. I can't say if any of us was in the room where it happened, but when we heard it, we all said, "Oh, okay, sure." We all said it.
We did, because black.
You're right.
Because black.
You're right.
And
you know what?
Well, you know what happened? No, you know what happened was they showed the production art of the suit. They're like, "This is what she's gonna wear," and everybody's like, "All right."
Exactly. They're like, "Oh, okay."
Exactly. You know how
much money you need? How much you need? Can I get a check look at right now? We got.
Man, WB put all their money into that cat. It was like, look, that's going to be the money shot. Just her and the cat suit. We're good. We're going to make back our money. People are going to be talking about Catwoman for years.
We are.
We are.
For all reasons.
Hey, Chris. I don't hold no promises. The day is coming that we're going to have to talk about that. It's slowly creeping up on
no promises that I will not be that I won't be misogynistic and really just going all in on the movie. I'm just saying.
Dude, here's the thing. I tell that to everybody when it comes to certain movies, man. I told them we was looking at. I forgot what we was looking at. I was like, I hope there's a sex scene. My mom looking at me like, why would you say that? My dad's cracking up. I'm like, yo, what? Look, at this point, I have nothing to look at. Something has to happen. Something has to happen. I will turn if that makes you know what, Chris? That makes you sound bad. Well, guess what? You got company.
Just saying.
Look, dude, I respect women and all that crap. One day I might have a daughter, but bruh.
Now, here's the thing. If we're moving from Angela Bassett, right? Me and D, we did a podcast on national security, right? So Forrest Whitaker was playing Zuri, right? I was like, yo, how come Bill Duke didn't pop in as like the rival fucking elder statesman and shit to Zuri or something like that? Like
man, I was waiting for Bill Duke to show up with a big old plate on his lip, man. That would have been awesome.
Just sitting there the whole time, quiet, whispering.
Yeah, I'm thinking the motherfuckers who weren't in the movie. Like, how mad do you think Sam Jackson is right now? Just like
you know what? I didn't even think of that.
Like, how fucking pissed off do you think he is
just
right
the
to
one
fuck
scene
now?
Where he rolled in there when they're interrogating Claw and he's just walking in like, yeah, so Avengers Initiative, robber, these damn Avengers, and I'm out.
I don't know why we talking about that. You know, he sat on Coogler's phone for about a half an hour trying to explain to him why would it make sense for Nick Fury to be there for just 4 minutes. You know he did.
Coogler went Oakland on him and he was like, nah, dog, we can't do that.
Nah, homie.
So yeah, I mean, come on, you know it was like I joked with D. I was like, yo, I'm surprised Cornel West didn't fucking get pissed off.
Dude, there's a couple of people that I'm surprised that they ain't come in. Look, here's the sick part. Like, you can say that about certain black characters. I mean, black actors. Like, we're surprised that. Like if he was still alive, Paul Winfield would have been in the movie. We wouldn't know that would happen.
Yes. most definitely.
Look, actually, if any black person that was in the movie that should have been in it, real talk, I'm actually surprised Carl Weathers was nowhere to be seen in this. Just to be honest, I don't know where to put him at, but I'm surprised he wasn't in it.
I know where to put him at. I put him with the Mountain Tribe. Fuck it, he's the oldest dude in the Mountain Tribe. Fuck it.
Exactly. Don't let him say nothing. Just everybody look. Hey, young, is that Apollo Creed right there?
Just chilling it the whole time.
Nice little fucking wink, father and son.
My gosh, that would have been great, man. That would have been great.
He's there during that 101 with Killmonger and T'Challa. He's just sitting there, just staring at fucking Killmonger, wink, like you said, Joe, just winking at him, like, "Do your job, son."
Yep.
It'd be great if like I agree with Killmonger. You're like,
of course you do.
Like, yeah, it's like certain people, like, we're actually surprised. Because it's funny because, everybody had their perfect cast already in order before the movie started. I heard Felicia Rashad. Oh, I was sick of that one. I heard
she would just Felicia Rashad would just been one of the
just would have been
sitting there just not doing anything.
One thing I heard, one person I heard, and actually that I wouldn't say it wouldn't make sense because I think he would have said no to the movie, but he just passed away. That was Dick Gregory. I heard Dick Gregory. I was like, really? He probably would have did it, but what would you do? He'd just be standing there. You might as well get Cornel West, and I'm damned if he's going to be in this movie. He was
yeah. Funny though, is Felicia Rashad probably would have been Ramonda's like sister or some shit, probably.
Man, look. This is the only last person I can say is Irma P. Hall. I'm surprised she wasn't in it. Man. Just as the old African lady, I'm surprised that wasn't there either.
Why couldn't Felicia Rashad be the American chick that Killmonger's dad knocked up?
Whoa! Wow! That man.
Boom! Boom! Boom!
Wow! Huh?
Leave it to the white guy.
Huh? It's like, wow, if we get Sterling Brown and then
actually,
man. Huh.
I don't. I couldn't think. I can't think of nobody. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Side note
I don't know. But you gotta think about it. You know how black people cast. Somebody would say, "Get Chili off of TLC." Why? That's Killmonger's ball.
I said this too, and this movie confirmed it. You cannot do the same movie in Phase 1.
No.
Yeah, because it would have.
Special effects and what you have to do? Hell no.
Yeah, true that. Although, like, I hate to be a nitpicky asshole. Well, I mean, I thrive on being a nitpicky asshole. But, like, I have grown to the point where, like, I try not to complain about CGI and comic book movies anymore because, like, I've realized after 20 some odd years that's just the nature of the fucking beast.
I think I know where this is going. Continue.
Yeah. So, like, there are a couple of scenes. One was in the casino when Klaus shot the money and made it rain, like to try to look like a fucking Stretch Armstrong doll. And that money looked straight up green screen.
Son, I leaned. Look, hey, Prime, don't worry, because I leaned right over to Chris. I was like, but Steppenwolf though. Okay, cool.
I know. See, I wasn't gonna say that. Like.
Toward
the end of the movie, when Killmonger was getting ready to fight Shuri and Lupita, when he turned over and right when the mask came off and came back on, I leaned over to my wife and was like, "The booty though." But like, did you see this fucking proportion? You know what I'm talking about? Like, what the fuck?
Yo, he was like, I get
like,
it, man.
Killmonger, you thick with 3 C's, my God.
And I was telling Chris, like, you know what, man? I was like, cue the CG fight, and Chris like, D, go ahead. Like, go ahead, what? I had to sit through.
You know what? It took me until
3 DC movies with all of you snarks.
Look at that CGI. But that fucking fight. Look at that fucking fight on that train. I'm like, I think also that's another reason why they had the suits powered down, because that shit looked so fucking ridiculous.
It did.
I mean,
it did, and you had to.
It took 3 showings for me to finally. I would say on the second time that I watched it with D, it was like after everything kind of like settled down with me after the second viewing. I was like, yeah, CGI fight, it ain't gonna age that well. Maybe 5 years down the road. Maybe
it's gonna remind. It's gonna remind me because I don't have a.
Put it this way, it ain't quite Blade 2 levels. Let me get that.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah. So Blade 2 was PS1, and that shit was maybe PS3. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
You know what's gonna remind me of? It's gonna remind me of a fight I really thought was good and it actually held up for a while, but it kind of didn't age well, and that was Spider-Man versus Doc Ock.
Ooh, much as I love that fight,
because I love that fight, it really hasn't aged as well as I thought.
Like, they look so fucking wonky. Like, man.
Video gamey as shit, especially watching it now, man. It's like,
especially with the top of the train, man.
Dude, look,
and I love that fight. I still love that fight to this day. But I recognize flaws when I see them, and they had that shit.
Look, man. But here's the thing. I tend not to complain because look, we all saw Spawn, man. So
that's what I said. Like at this level of the game, like, it's just something I don't complain about. So when I see people make comments about CGI or like the third act of a superhero movie. I'm like, motherfucker, you do realize what you're paying your money for, right? You do realize what this is.
Dude, we have been sitting for almost 15 straight years of comic book movies. We have seen the evolution. We have seen it at its worst, and we've seen it at its best. If you get in the middle, you should be okay. Nothing's gonna hurt you, but I get it. Snark gets you likes on Facebook and yada yada yada. So you go.
I mean, the thing of it is too, it's like there were certain things that I did like about the suit, like the whole kinetic energy thing. I thought that was dope as shit.
I mean, I thought it was cool, but like I still feel like it's just too much for the first movie. Like that's a way big power up. Like yo, that's a big glow up.
That's coming from the fact that they took from coats and all that stuff. It was like, all right, let's do the suit. Let's do the stealth freeze suit shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm 100%.
I'm like, can we build up to the kinetic blast? Like, can he get the stealth shit first, then in the second movie get the kinetic blast?
Well, I mean, I think that there's a thin line with that. I think that at the point that he told Shuri to go ahead and activate the railways to stop the suit from working. I was thinking, all right, imagine if the suit didn't work at all. After the point when the railways are by, that no way at all they can use the suits. They both have the heart-shaped herb inside of them. They both have the power of the Black Panther. Why couldn't we just have a legit fight? Just with them without the suits?
So waterfall fight. So essentially waterfall fight part 2.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But like, why not? Because like then it would have been like, this feels real. It feels like real danger. And you wouldn't have felt like, kind of like y'all bringing up Spider-Man 2. Honestly, in Spider-Man 3, when Harry Osborn's going up against Peter, that CG looked better than this. And I know that's shade.
Hold on.
Hot take.
YouTube.
You know what? I'll allow it.
YouTube. Hold on, me. I gotta do side by side. Hold on. It's been a minute. I only seen Spider-Man 3 once. Hold on.
I gotta admit,
Sam got a point. Sam got a point.
That beginning fight was pretty good. I gotta admit. I do admit, like, as much as I was like, fuck Spider-Man 3, that fight was pretty good.
And I think that they changed the concept of the suit at a certain point. Like, because the first trailers, when he was going out in the dawn, like, I was like, I don't see no purple kinetic. Like, it looks like just a black straight up suit. And so, like, the more I started seeing the trailers, I was like, I don't know how I feel about the suit. I understand the functionality. I understand the kinetic absorption and then repulsion back. I get it. But I was like, at the very end, what I want is to feel this impending danger. Not just kind of like CGI, Marvel-esque, blueprinted.
You know what? Thank you, because I think you put your finger on what my major problem I had with the suit. It's like I never felt any tension in the action scenes with T'Challa because I'm like, he's just fun to gambit these motherfuckers up.
Exactly. Because I mean, it's cool is when he showed up on top of that suit, or on top of that first ship that he knocked down, and like they all swarmed at him, and he just went in on them, used his blast, and then took out another ship. Like I was like, that was dope. And then they focused on the Dormelage and the fight in between there. But at a certain point, when you get in with Killmonger and T'Challa's Black Panther, that is the fight that I should care the most about. And I knew how it was going to end before it ended. Like, I was like, T'Challa's going to find some kind of way of killing Killmonger. And I didn't want it to happen. Like, I was like, if it is going to be to that, let it be like, let me see cuts and bruises all over T'Challa. Let me see cut and bruises all over, Killmonger. Like, I didn't get that. Like, I saw a dope ending to a character. Killmonger, he had one of the best speeches at the end, but it's like, they could have made that so much better. It would have gone outside the scope of a blueprinted Marvel film. To me, it would have raised it from where it's currently right now. For me, it's number 3 on the MCU films. It could have been easily at the top. And there were certain changes they could have made. Even like Martin Freeman. I know I love Martin Freeman as Everett Ross. But when Martin Freeman was like, put me back in, I was like, dang, he's about to sacrifice himself. Nope, he's just going to make it out alive. Because he's going to become the new Agent Coulson. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are certain negatives I'm sitting there crossing in my head. But, I mean, they're nitpicky. But I felt like the movie could have just taken so many other leaps that it just kind of like it had to fold into certain things. Even when I first saw the first Infinity War trailer, I was like, well, okay, I see Fury there. I see Nakia there. Like, they're going to live through Black Panther. So it's like, it's no expectation.
I don't think it kills it, though, ultimately. If you think about it like this, it's like you have the rule. It's, I don't know, maybe because you watch so much anime, you kind of can get a vibe of who's going to survive because plot armor by default. because I mean I don't think it takes away the tension of it honestly, because it's like it's like how did that?
Well, that's that's to say. That's also to say like just because you come out physically unscathed, that's not to say what scars mentally or emotionally you might suffer through the course of a story.
Yeah, that's why I was like when Killmonger got killed, I was like this is probably the first time in the MCU that I'm actually fine with this death, because it wasn't like say Ronan the Accuser where I was like, yo, he shouldn't have died. You should have thrown his ass in jail and keep him in the fucking space. Keep him on. You keep somebody like Ronan the Accuser in the loop on space shit, because you can do a lot with him. But when you kill him off, it's like, well, you just scrap a person that is kind of a figurehead of the intergalactic aspect of the MCU and stuff. And it's like with this one, it's like, well, first off, Killmonger's dead in the comics, so there's that. But it's like, oh, you killed him off. All right, cool. Because there's no redemption arc with him at all.
Oh hell no, he's not becoming an anti-hero. And there's no way
you can do that.
There is no prison that will hold him. There is no prison at all in Wakanda. Even in Wakanda, he is not staying in jail. No way. This ain't Fast State where Jason Statham gets redeemed. I still call bullshit on that one. I'm like, how are you having beers with everybody? You just killed Han. What's going on here? What are we doing here?
I'm like, dude, did you realize that Han was he just trying to kill you in the last freaking movie?
We just have Coronas. That's what happens.
You got Coronas a bit. You know what? You know what it is?
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
No. Fast, the Fate of the Furious.
I've never seen a single one.
Okay, so
hey, be glad you did it, man. So trust. Once you get caught in that hurricane.
Speaking of hurricanes, let's get. I'm not even. No. But Jason Statham's character, more or less, he's the one that kills Han's character from Tokyo Drift. So
who?
Yeah, I know, right? Asian dude.
He kills the main cast member.
Yeah, he killed the main one of the main cast members. So The Rock and them, previous movie, they throw his ass in jail. He's like in deep underground prison and stuff. Ain't gonna never see the light of day. Next movie, I'm helping out the crew. I'm like, okay, there's tension there. What's gonna happen? End of the movie, they're sharing Coronas, laughing. I'm like, he killed Han.
I mean, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. You don't watch those movies.
I know, but I'm just saying, that's what reminds me of with Killmonger. I'm like, there's no way next movie Killmonger's just going to have a beer with T'Challa and be like, yeah, you remember when I killed your dad? Oh, man, it was crazy, right? Crazy.
But that's why that speech at the end that he gave, that fucking speech, I mean, goddamn, like, I didn't want to see him die, but you're right. Like, he can't live in a prison or whatever. But that speech he gave at the end and his reason, I like the fact that T'Challa was like, maybe we can save you, and he's like, fuck that, and that shit he gave at the end. I mean, that was beautiful, man. Like that was
rotten jail for life.
Me and Chris, but look, it was so good that me and Chris, I leaned over to Chris like, come on, man. Look. If Star Labs can make a little prison, you mean to Wakanda can't do the same damn thing? But he had to go. He had to go.
You know what it would have been like? It would have been like at the end of Dark Knight, Joker's in jail, Heath Ledger died in real life. Hey, what happened to Joker in Dark Knight Rises? Still rotting in jail. Don't care.
Got shanked. They go with that. Like something like that.
He got shanked. I guess it's a good way to end it with T'Challa. Chadwick knocked out the park. I gotta give him that.
I don't know. The only thing I didn't like about Chadwick, it's not about him actually. I think he did really good. T'Challa was good. The only thing I asked for is just D personally, is nobody else. It's not knocking his whole performance. It's that just the one scene where he saw Nakia. He just took out all these dudes. All of a sudden he's in Nakia. Nakia. I'm like, nigga, if you don't put bass in your voice. Oh, that pissed me off so bad. I don't know why that pissed me off. But you know what? It reminded me. And I brought this up. It reminded me of what happened in The Dark Knight Rises in reverse. Remember when Batman and Catwoman were on top of the roof and Catwoman disappeared on Batman, and he was like, so "That's how that feels like." I'm like, "Why are you talking like that? Nobody's around you. Talk regular." In this case, hold on. In this case, it's the absolute. It is. Though, Joe, it's the absolute reverse, because it's like you do realize that there's still some dudes around you. I don't know. That just bugged me. It wasn't a big deal though. But
no, you're right. You're right because, dude, I watched The Dark Knight. I don't know, last week in 4K, right? So when he's talking to I completely understand what you're saying. When he's talking to Morgan Freeman about like how he hacked the fucking cell service. No, why the fuck are you doing the shitty Batman voice to a guy that knows who you are?
Yeah.
And with T'Challa, I was like, he knows who the fuck you are. Like, stop it. I would have been like, stop it right now.
Dude, like, what are you talking about?
T'Challa's talking to her,
superhero
like,
thing.
That when T'Challa's talking to her, you're like, come on, dude, you're a fucking king. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's okay to pull that king dick out and be like, hey, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Nakia, boy, if you don't, only thing that also bothered me, it was only minor. This is more on Coogler. I hate the fact that Nakia and T'Challa didn't talk until they was in the middle of that little Wakandan market, and all of a sudden they want to drop exposition. Like, so y'all just waited to talk. Then
so here's my thing too about exposition in this movie. This is a small nitpick that I had. So the movie opens up with that sand thing, given the history of Wakanda. But like, I felt like I don't think Ryan Coogler put that in. I think that was probably added at the behest of the studio because like I felt like it was unnecessary. Like the entire thing, that whole opening narration, everything that was said in that narration was explained. I know, yeah. Everything that was said in narration was explained in the movie organically. So why did he need this to be tacked on in the beginning? Like we should have just started in Oakland. Flashback.
Guys, buckle up. Lion King's coming.
Nah. You know why? Because we needed to make the last scene. I mean, not the last scene. The end credits where it look all like sand makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm with you. Coogler didn't put that in there.
He totally didn't put that shit in there. That shit
was added in. Decision, the fact that like I de-joked when I was like, man, the fact that they said kill Whitey, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Feige was like, hey, Coogler, you can't say kill Whitey on screen, all right? Just put that.
What if I say maim colonizer?
All right, that's fine. Good.
What if I say we should take out the European one? Would that work?
Eliminate
that shit.
Eliminate the lack of melanin. How does that work for you?
Pretty sure I
did that same for people that were lazy. People that like go into a Marvel movie without any preconceived notions about who Black Panther is and need to just have some kind of information very quick. Because I had one person that commented on my review, they were like, oh man, the first part, like, so quickly I learned exactly who he was, who his lineages was, and then when they showed that scene, the opening of Wakanda, like it was beautiful for me, and like for them, that opening.
Maybe I give people too much credit, but like I felt like I think it was just unnecessary. Like I mean, maybe I just assume people pay attention to movies too much. Maybe that's my own fucking fault. But like everything that was said in that shit, like it was explained organically if you just watched the movie. Like if you just paid attention to the movie.
But Sam is correct though.
But somebody did that because hey, I like Sterling K. Brown's voice. Fuck it, put him in the beginning.
Nah, you know what? But no, Sam made the point though. It's true. They did that so the casual fan, the person that isn't going to look at it's one of those weird choices where you do that to get the audience up to speed. Sometimes that can hamper the movie, and sometimes it can. In this case, while it doesn't hurt it, you and I see it. All of us see it for what it is. You kind of didn't have to do that. You kind of didn't do it.
Look, somebody had me rolling, and I'm like, I'm not necessarily mind blown, but I was like, that's something that we as black people tend to look deep into it and stuff. Somebody was like, I find it funny nobody really caught on to the fact that Killmonger and T'Challa fought on the Underground Railroad. Get it? Underground Railroad? I'm like,
Hey, Chris, real talk. I'm just saying, I can tell when niggas who smoke weed watch stuff.
That was a black dude that said it too, so I was like, that sounds like you.
Hey yo, check this out, son. Where were they fighting? Railroad, yeah. And what else? This shit was underground, though, kid. Yeah, nigga. That's exactly how that went.
I liked him and stuff. I liked what I really loved was T'Challa and T'Chaka's interaction in the afterlife twice and stuff. Like, just between him being happy that he saw his dad the first time and the second time really getting pissed off at his dad. Like, you really lay this shit on me on the table, like, right there when I'm the king for, like, a day and a half? Like, really, dog? You didn't tell me this?
Yo, somebody pointed out to me was like, you remember that line T'Challa had in Civil War about what his father believes after you die?
Yeah.
And how he's like, I think it's a nice story. But so then in Black Panther, he was like, oh shit, my dad's there for real. It's real.
It's like, yo, you just told the story to Falcon and Cap. Now you believe it? Like, come on, dog.
I was like, so I didn't moment.
I didn't hear you guys. So you guys all like Chadwick?
Yeah, we like Chadwick and stuff. We were just commenting on like how like T'Challa was like shocked that he saw his dad in the afterlife. I'm like, didn't you just tell Falcon and Cap in Civil War the history of Black Panther and his dad didn't necessarily died? I was like, that's one of those little. You know what? That kind of reminded me of the comics on how writers don't get together on like continuity and stuff, because it's kind of like when it's like when Al Ewing did the Ultimates and Black Panther, and that one was like badass as shit, and then you go into Coates and it's like, oh, T'Challa's a little diplomatic. Can we get some like continuity here? Like, I remember people complaining about that. I was like, yeah, you kind of have to like show the little lineage if you're going to show that and stuff. But I find it funny too. If you look back at Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther was kind of like a continuation of that, in the aspect of fathers not telling their son shit about stuff past.
Well, that's like a Marvel trope. That's like,
I'm about to say, that's a straight up Marvel trope. If DC's trope is dead parents, then Marvel's tropes is don't tell the kid what I got. That's pretty much what that is, man. We have seen that in like 8 different stories in Marvel. So
I think Thor got the worst of it though. It's like, you have a sister and she's going to destroy. She's going to bring about Ragnarok.
True.
So, sorry, true. Son. I'm out.
Check this shit out, son. Okay, so you got a sister, right? But all of them have that type of surprise. Wait a minute, Dad. Wait a minute. My dad made weapons for who? Or it's like, wait a minute, my dad was a part of what experiment? Or in Peter Parker's space? In Peter Parker's case. Wait. So my dad worked for Osborn, and that's how you see. There's always some hidden agenda from the parents, man. That's
we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that one anymore.
Yeah, we don't talk about Amazing Spider-Man anymore with the dad coming back.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one anymore.
Coming back looking
like don't bring up bullshit
stuff like, hey, son, I'm back from the dead.
Hey, look, first off, F y'all, I was talking about the comic, which I liked. Yeah. I've been talking about the movie, even though I liked the movie. Number two, Chris, you ain't shit for that, but I agree with you what you said with the dad coming back.
Yo, real talk, man. That Amazing Spider-Man 2, side note, that, like, as much as I enjoyed it and stuff, it was like, yo, there was such a clusterfuck of a damn movie. And then you sit there and tell people, after the movie came out, it's like, oh, yeah, here's this deleted scene of Peter's dad at the gravesite. I'm like, wait.
It felt like
Chris,
they could have.
Are you saying Sony's making bad decisions with Spider-Man?
Exactly.
What?
Like
that's almost like making a Venom movie without Spider-Man.
I got a question for you guys, right? So the third showing for Black Panther, that's all. They have Venom attached to it. Now, Joe, Prime, and even Sam, did they have Venom running as a trailer before any y'all showing?
My second showing, yeah.
Was it dead quiet?
Yeah,
was it dead quiet during that trailer?
Motherfuckers were confused as shit.
Here's what I got, and it was the same because I said since the beginning, I don't give a fuck about a Venom movie that doesn't have Spider-Man. Right? So no Spider-Man, and we're going to have Peter Parker. Get the fuck out of my face. I want Spider-Man in that movie. Tom Hardy, cool. Even though he has the shittiest accents in movies. So, dude, the trailer comes on. The trailer, what the fuck accent was he doing? It was like a Boston Philly accent or some shit like that.
Boston. I'm like, you should just Mark Wahlberg if you want a Boston accent. God damn.
The trailer comes on, right? And this is a fucking packed house. And there's people like, the fuck is this? Oh, shit. Oh, it's Tom Hardy. Oh, fuck. This is Venom. I wanted to see this, right? And I'm listening, and I'm like, oh, you're disappointed. And all you hear, like, you see, like, the shot with the symbiote and the little canister, like, oh, shit. And you see Tom Hardy, like, fucking wiggling around. Every fucking person at the end, they go, the fuck was that? What the fuck? Like, what? And I'm like, fucking told you, man. Told you. I have that same question, but with Spider-Man. Where the fuck is Spider-Man?
Hey, Joe.
So, yo, listen.
Hey, Joe. No, actually, guys, no bullshit. I was one of the very few times I actually ever smoked a cigarette. But when the trailer came out, I had a cigarette in my mouth, and I did exactly what Krusty the Clown did on Simpsons. After it went off, what the hell was that? I did that.
No, I picture you like Ray Stantz from the first Ghostbusters, where it's just hanging out of your lip.
Oh my gosh, I was almost like that.
Yo, so in my theater, like, it was just dead quiet. Like, I didn't even hear from the fucking nerds. Like, there's some dudes who were sitting behind me when we were in line. They were talking the whole time about everything from, like, Logan to Justice League to fucking Ragnarok to Infinity War to Black Lightning. They were just yip the whole fucking time. That trailer came on. Them motherfuckers was dead quiet. Nothing. Not even a drop. I can fucking hear the bead of sweat form on their fucking eyebrows. Nothing at all.
Chris, I have a question then. Was there more of a reaction, whether it be a groan or legit laughing, when the Teen Titans Go advertisement came on to Venom?
Listen.
Was there more activity, period?
Here's the shitty part about this, right? So, after that one played, right, immediately afterwards was the Deadpool 2 movie trailer. That's the fucked up part. People were laughing at Deadpool when he stopped it at Cable's green screen arm, and some of them actually thought it was making fun of the Venom trailer.
Wow.
And I was like, well, he's making fun of Justice League because of the mustache, but okay, I'll allow it. Let's just see where this goes. Even though I knew it was, but some people kind of was like, is he making fun of Venom? And I'm like, I don't think he is, but okay, let's keep that going.
We'll allow it.
But here's my thing. It's like, I'm looking at Venom, I'm like this looks like and this is what pissed me off. I think Sony did that shit on purpose to kind of cash in on everybody seeing Black Panther, and they wanted more eyes on it.
All right, so my thing about that shit is, I think I said this on Twitter after I saw the trailer. First of all, fuck me, because regardless of what I say about this movie, I know I'm gonna fucking see it because I'm a goddamn Spider-Man universe mark.
we all are. We
Son,
get trapped in the
so fuck
I'm
me.
just as bad as you.
So fuck damn you all for making me do this. But like, I don't know. Like, I say this a lot, but Venom, down to his concept and his ever-loving inception, is central. Spider-Man is central. Like, no matter what version of Venom, like, you can argue, like, well, maybe Age of Venom. I'm like, Venom, Eddie Brock Venom, his whole thing is, yo, I really fucking hate Spider-Man. And even Age of Venom, his whole thing is, yo, I really want to be like Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Spider-Man is a core component to the character and inception and concept of Venom, down to the ever-loving fucking DNA, and I mean that literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, if you're presenting me a movie without Spider-Man, you're not giving me fucking Venom. You're giving me, I don't know, like, just generic stock creature movie number 15. Like, what the fuck? Like, what?
My only problem with that is like, yeah, with there being no Peter Parker, or if he's going to be there or not, it doesn't fucking matter.
Tom Holland's going to pop into it, which I'm like, that doesn't fill me with any sort of joy.
Look, the point is that, but here's the point of this. What is the brick wall? What is then your brick wall? What is it? What are you fighting for? Okay? Because who cares? Who cares? Because look, you can slap something together like Deadpool and give us, okay, they're the bad guys. All right, cool, they're the bad guys. And Venom, really, without Spider-Man, how do you want to entertain us? How are you going to entertain us? Was he going to fight the show?
Like, the symbiote's whole thing is, yo, I really love Spider-Man. I want to be one with Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Eddie Brock's whole thing is, yo, I fucking hate Spider-Man, and y'all fucking hate Peter Parker. What the fuck you mean they're the same person? You know what I'm saying? So,
he's like the jilted guy that's just like, fuck this dude, you know.
I think the Spectacular Spider-Man did fucking Venom like the best in terms of characterization of getting that character's motivation down perfectly.
Yeah.
He's the guilted lover. Like,
yeah,
like, fuck you and everything you stand for because you wronged me, so I'm going to shit on everything you stand for.
Yeah.
Or we're going to get a really good scene where nobody sees it coming. Where is Tom Holland really?
Yeah.
All right, now this really doesn't make any sense.
What did little ass Tom Holland do to growing ass Tom Hardy? So like, well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how are you gonna?
Thank you. How are you?
You know what he does? You know what he does?
Bring in another question. That's going to be another question. So wait. There was a time where little Tom Holland had the symbiote suit on him. Hold up, and as a Spider-Man stan, you didn't give me that money shot. Are you fucking kidding me? What are you fight against then?
I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate with this. But anyway, I have a problem with it as well. But at the same time, there's so much we don't know about this Sony universe that they're doing, and how much we can actually know that Spider-Man is incorporated into it. Yeah. I just can't believe that they would have a Venom movie without any kind of inclusion of Spider-Man. Now, it would make more sense to me to include Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man within the confines for,
You gonna give Andrew Garfield hope that he's gonna be Spider-Man again?
No. I'm just saying from an age standpoint and from like how much Andrew Garfield's character had done up until that point, it would have made more sense. Yeah. So, but at the same time, they could easily have when Tom Holland goes off planet on Avengers 3 or 4, they could easily introduce some kind of semblance of a symbiote, and Tom Hardy could easily be a part of Infinity War. I'm not saying that's a possibility. It still seems really stupid to have a Venom movie coming out this year. But at the same time, there's things that we just don't know. Yeah. Why would you put one in there if there isn't some kind of connection? That's really what I'm trying to say. Because this takes place in San Francisco. It doesn't take place in New York. Yeah. So there has to be some kind of connection beforehand. I was doing something off of whims. Yeah.
But you know what this is? This is Sony thinking that they're the hot chick at the dance. This is Sony Sony's the ugly fat chick standing next to Marvel, who's the fucking smoke show, thinking that they're just as hot because they're like, hey, you like Spider-Man? You like Spider-Man? You guys like that movie, right? Here's Venom, and it's like, hold the phone. Marvel made that movie good. You know what I mean? You guys have had 5 movies, and I
take it like Marvel is actually the hot chick, and Sony is like the little guy that's a complete nerd and just completely disassociated from everybody, but he's got this hot chick next to him. Yeah. He's saying, like, she's with me kind of thing. And that's what it's more so like, because we don't really know. We don't know, because, they have Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's hard to say.
My point is, like, it's like Marvel, you guys have such shitty movies that you finally had to swallow your pride and get in bed with Marvel, and Marvel the whole time's like, just wait. Marvel finally helps you concoct the perfect cinematic Spider-Man for, that universe. Then you guys think it was all you and go, well, fuck, we're going to do Black Cat and Silver Sable. Who the fuck cares about Black Cat and Silver Sable in a fucking solo? I don't give even a half of a fuck about that movie. Yeah. I have negative fucks to give, right? It's like, well, shit, you guys like Spider-Man, well, you must like Venom. Yeah. Okay? Well, we're going to do Venom because you guys like Spider-Man, but Marvel's not involved with this. And you guys have fucking done terrible things with Spider-Man. Now, if it was a Marvel production and Tom Holland was in it, fuck yeah, I'm all for it. But Tom Hardy, of course. But it's Sony not knowing when to just fuck it. They're like bad winners. It's like they're bad winners because they won with Homecoming, right? Great fucking movie, great portrayal of Spider-Man, and they just rush out these like Morbius. Listen, he's a cool character, but I don't give a fuck about a Morbius movie.
I think they're
just something else.
I think they're just throwing shit at the wall, and I don't think that's even going to happen.
I'm trying to figure out how the hell did Feige let them go rogue? Like, what the fuck happened?
But my point is like, it's okay. You watched the Venom trailer. When Venom was announced, I was like, is Spider-Man in it? Nope, I don't care. I don't care. I won't. You guys know I won't fucking sue. And like, if you show me a trailer and you show me Venom and he's that big ass hulking, tongue hanging out, slobbering Venom, and then you show me him fighting Carnage, and it's the Carnage that I want, okay, I'll watch just for that. But right now, it's like another X-Men movie is coming out, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this movie because you guys are rushing it out and completely disregarding the groundwork that you've laid with Spider-Man. You're just trying to rush something out. Fuck, I would even take if they said, all right, Peter Parker's in Marvel, in the cinematic universe, we're going to do Miles. Miles is our Sony Spider-Man. Cool. I'm cool with that. I don't give a fuck. You guys do it, I would be totally cool with that. But then you've got the animated movie coming out, so he's not going to be in Venom. You know what I mean? It's like, you have 2 fucking Spider-Men you can play with, and you keep them both out of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck off.
But let's end on a good note. So, I find it, it's crazy to me that I am shocked. Because, we heard soundtracks of movies before, but I am, genuinely shocked they literally went, the soundtrack for Black Panther was like, hey, we're going to actually go 90s with it and actually having legit soundtrack comprised of a lot of black artists and stuff. It wasn't like typical Disney. Let's get the famous pop songs and throw it on an album.
Yeah, I hate to be that guy, but I feel like Black Panther has one of the best soundtracks in any Marvel movie. I'm talking about soundtrack and OST.
Yeah, OST, we did get that. And all that stuff. I wish they included that one from Civil War with Black Panther. That would be nice if they actually included that one.
Yeah, but like it's like I think the first Marvel movie where I can actually remember some of the fucking songs and actually care to remember the songs.
Yeah. I mean, Sam, didn't you got the actual original soundtrack?
Yeah, so I do have the whole soundtrack. It is fire, man. Like I really enjoy it, especially watching it multiple times, and I can pick up when the certain moments are. So I've got Kendrick Lamar's soundtrack, but I also have the OST score. So the score is by Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah.
He did Fruitvale Station and he did Creed as well. And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it because what he did was him and Kendrick worked together to make sure that when Kendrick's songs came in, it came out on an organic standpoint. And I really appreciated how they actually handled the music in this because it was everything. If it kind of was just all hip hop, I would have been like, man, come on now. Like, that's not who these people are. But it was like you could tell when certain moments, like when Killmonger was on the scene, it was more of an upbeat kind of hip hop vibe because that's where he was. That's who he is. But then when it's everything else Wakanda, like it's very much so who they all are. It's very enriching. I think the score it had like about 28 tracks on it actually. So I highly recommend buying it if you like scores.
Yeah. Did you end up listening to the soundtrack, Joe, or you didn't get a chance to?
Oh, dude, I've had a soundtrack on my fucking car like 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. I don't even know why I asked that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like not. I mean, some songs are better than others, but as a whole, I agree, it's probably the best. You know what I mean? It's definitely one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a while.
Yeah.
And I agree that I like how it was placed in the movie, where it wasn't like, hey, here's that song. It was like I like the ending song. That's probably my favorite song of the whole album, but I like the Weekend and the song just kind of subtle at the casino.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. Like I really like how Ryan Coogler. It feels like he went the extra mile in every sense of this movie, trying to make everything as perfect as he was able to make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everything just feels like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And, I mean, I fucking love that guy. Whatever that I'll watch.
Yeah, I mean, kind of unfortunate he ain't going to be attached to Creed 2 except for, producing and stuff. It would be nice if he actually directed that one, but I know we'll see how that rolls and stuff. But
I think, I understand. I heard some of the soundtrack, but don't act like, hey, DD, you got it. Dude, I'm just now getting to Culture Part 2. I am so late with music. This is a funny thing. I think this as far as the OST, the original score, it goes into the same. Okay, to say that they're on the same level is not fair to both parties. I would say it like this. It reminded me in the sense of how Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, I thought their soundtracks were perfect. Everything. Perfect. You know what scene it is when you hear it and all that. And I think the score is incredible. That's the one thing I like. I think I like the score more than the actual soundtrack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think that was an interesting thing where you can, especially, I think it's a tell of a good movie and it's a tell of a great soundtrack where you can hear the score and know where they're at. You know what I mean? I think that's the best thing about it. And even when the score itself kind of does little, like one of the things I really liked about, Hans Zimmer is when he did actually it was during Dunkirk. I can tell he was doing the music, and I could tell the little almost theme that he had going on. And remember I told you about you can hear like the ticking of a clock the whole time. Like I like those little things. And this one, you could really, like you said, you can tell when it was Killmonger. You can tell it's almost American sounding. And then when it was Wakanda, you can tell it's Wakanda. So it was a good mix. I actually like it.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty damn good. And to say, somebody I saw said, "Oh, it's the best Marvel soundtrack." I gotta be really honest with you. That is a very low bar.
Yeah, I mean,
I barely remember.
True that.
It's true that. Look at this. I barely remember Avengers theme song, let alone any other score that makes you think, "Oh, that's the Avengers."
The Avengers theme is really the only one that you remember because it's like very.
That's the only one you should remember.
It's almost semi.
And the only reason you remember that shit because it's iconic because of that damn sweeping shot from the first movie.
Exactly.
it's like, oh shit.
And it makes you feel like a superhero. I love that. I love it. It makes you feel like a superhero.
But if you divorce it from that scene, it's not a really good song.
Exactly. It just seems like it's a part. It can be a part of any, and to say it like that, any stock Avengers New York superhero type of vibe. You know what I mean? It feels like you can just attach it to anything. If it didn't have that sweeping shot, like you said, we will never know what it is.
Hey, so shout out to Stan Lee in his cameo because I loved it. You know, he plays.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it in this one. I didn't like it in this one.
Because he stole the black man's money? Is that
no, dude. Here's the thing. I think Stan Lee's cameos are okay, but in Thor, I didn't like them. It's like the last one he did good was Homecoming, where it actually made me legit laugh instead of me just saying, ha ha. Boy, that was great. Because he's like, what is that? I'm like, hey, Susan. I'm like, okay, that's fun. That's actually funny. Like, I hate it when Stan is just there. He might as well turn to the camera and say, hey, true believers, cameo. He might as well just do that. I hate it when it feels
Ragnarok,
like
I will
that.
agree. Thor Ragnarok was the one that he probably should have said that, hey, guys, I'm Stan Lee. I'm going to cut Thor's hair. Ha ha.
Excelsior. He might as well said that. He might as well said that. This one, he was like, you're not a true believer. Give me all those chips. Excelsior. He might as well have said that.
Tits,
so, whatever.
Bam. That shit.
No, you said it right the first time. Stan Lee, come on now. You said it right the first time.
I remember everybody when that whole thing came out about him slapping women on the asses, and I'm like, man, everybody's like, man, is his cameos in danger? I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's par for the course. He's 95 years old. What is he going to rape? His bottle of Metamucil? What is he going to do? Like, Jesus, man.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir. First of all, he's 163, and him hitting the chips to me was a metaphor of like, yeah. No, I really created the Black Panther with Kirby.
I'm taking
all the. Yeah, I'm going to
screw him like I did Kirby.
No shit.
Exactly.
Dude, that's the first thing I thought. He's like, there was this guy I knew named Jack. I did the exact same thing to him. You might as well did it, Stan. You can do it, man. Who's going to kill you? Honestly, who's going to come after you, bro?
Fucking shit. No, time isn't even going to fucking kill him.
Dude, time ain't coming for you, man.
Dude, the only reason why he ain't saying it is because Disney was like, oh shit, Marvel ain't paying damn artists and shit that we're using in the movies. Hey, fucking pay them. Pay them now. Shit. That's why Kirby's family got money. I think Kirby's family actually got money from like the Thor movies a couple of years ago because Disney actually opened the pocketbooks and was like, yeah, we really got to pay these people, all right?
Disney had to do that because Disney has this really dark history of not doing it their own damn selves. Actually, all of them do. The way they held back the laws of I'm gonna say eminent domain. That ain't a word to look for. But putting shit in the public putting creators' works in the public domain, they were really influential at that, having certain characters not interact, especially Mickey. If Mickey would have ended there, oh god, that's the end of Disney. So they were really yes, it would have been. Dude, that is your mascot. Imagine if Capcom couldn't use Ryu's image no more because it's owned to the public. They would be finished. We know that, yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Ken would be the face of Street Fighter at that point.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Chris.
I have a question for you guys. So, Black Panther, took 10 years after the MCU was launched. Yeah. Everybody's been waiting for it. I'm curious, as a whole, no movie's perfect, I get it. But as a whole, was the movie what you wanted it to be? Like when you think of like a Black Panther movie, the first, his origin story, yada, 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 as a whole, kind of looking at the flaws of the movie, was it what you wanted it to be?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
I hate to use the word absolutely, but it's absolutely there. The only thing that was missing that I thought would be there, just to be honest with you, because I'm used to him being that way in the comic, T'Challa asshole. So that kind of was refreshing. So it was exactly what I thought it would be.
Look, you're right. Well, he was a little bit asshole because Nikia was like, we can help our own people. Oh, man.
Man, that's the only thing.
Oh, damn. Look at the time, Nikia. I got to go home.
When they kissed at the end, I immediately leaned over to Chris. So, when are we going to give the cure to the AIDS virus to all of Africa that we had since the 1980s? Whoa, Nikia. one thing at a time. No. Let's wait. Can't be blessing everybody at once. No, but I always felt T'Challa was this. I understood why he was an asshole because he was a king, and the way that he was always written to me was an asshole until Coates' run, where you had to knock him down a couple pegs, and I was fine with that, and And even with the way he's portrayed in this, I'm very fine with it. So as far as it looking all that, I would hate to really, because I don't gush over this movie, especially the rating I gave it. I don't gush over this movie, but it's absolutely, and it kind of supersedes what I thought it would look like. So yeah, I'm totally happy with it.
It hit what I did. I think it was one of those things where I'm glad. Again, I am 100% glad they did not go ham on like trying to tie shit into Infinity War. Even the Bucky shit at the end didn't feel like it was ham-fisted in. We knew the motherfucker was on Wakanda, so it was like, all right, fine.
You know what, I did turn a little bit hotep. I was like, so we had to put one of them white superheroes in here.
Like, I think a lot of people were expecting like the final battle, Bucky's gonna come out of nowhere with one arm, fucking M16 motherfuckers.
I would have I would have got up and walked to the rushing room and come back. Like, is that motherfucker still on screen?
So it nailed it and stuff. It was about as self-contained as I wanted it to be, so it worked. So I was fine with it.
Everybody agrees or no?
For me,
go ahead. You got it.
Nah, I mean, I think for me, I had very low expectations going in because I was like, I love the director, I love the cast, but I was like, this could easily become one of the most convoluted things in the world, and it could be just a mashup of a whole bunch of foolishness mixed on top of Marvel stuff. And like us as, African American people, we would have been like, oh, it's great, oh, it's good. And I was like, I'm going into this movie looking at it as a film, and then secondly, as the cultural impact. And so I was like, it was surprising to me that it was very well done. Like, everything about it structurally, with the villain, with everybody brought it. And at the same exact time, everybody had an opportunity of having their moment in this one. And it's a rarity in the first standalone films to be able to do that. Because at the time, I think before this movie came out, Iron Man 1 was my number 3, and now this is actually my number 3. And I think that they did a great job with it. I don't know how they're going to really top it, and I don't know if it's going to have the same kind of like drawback like Guardians 1 from Guardians 2. But I really appreciated how they handled everything about this film, and I hope that they allow Ryan to kind of do the same with the next one. I feel like because this is going to make so much money, I feel like that's going to be impossible when it's a sequel.
Man, listen. You know what? You showed that picture of Sunday, how crowded it was, right? That is unheard. Yeah. Like, the last time I saw that was Avengers, right? That was crazy to me that on Sunday night, the shit was packed. Yeah. That's crazy. And somebody just told me today they went to the IMAX at the Smithsonian. It was packed then, back to back.
Dude,
it was President's Day. Well, it was President's Day, so let's give it that. Look, what you going to do on President's Day? You got a free day. You ain't got to go to work tomorrow. What do you think they're going to do? Of course, it's going to be packed out. I'm not saying that's like. I'm not giving that as like, oh, that's the only reason why I did it. I'm just saying, bring it in.
Yeah.
No, where I live, I mean, they're all rock and hit a fucking theater, right? And they're all like the nice, recliner theaters and shit. So I bought my tickets. I went Friday, and then I went yesterday. And I went Friday with my stepdad at like 12, And I'm thinking like, all right, I bought my tickets early, but every fucking showing all day, from Friday until yesterday, every showing was sold out. And I'm talking like from $13 tickets to like $25 tickets. Every single showing was sold out. And every time you walked by the theater, there were fucking lines out the building, and that's for people that have reserved seats. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't have to line up for shit, and there are people standing in their fucking Black Panther T-shirts or standing around in costumes. Like,
I thought it would be a big deal. And there was Disney on Ice next door, so it was like double. It was like parents taking the kids to see Disney on Ice and turn around. Yeah, we're going to see Black Panther. And I was like, shit, damn.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm not. I can't say I'm surprised at what it's done, like financially, because it's an important movie. You know what I mean? Like, the movie had to happen. But Jesus Christ, I mean, you think like on a Friday people are at work? Nope. I mean, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, every single theater is sold out. Every single showing is sold out. And did you guys happen to catch there was a woman, and I've seen a couple of people doing this, white woman online, where she's like, this is the one thing that pissed me off about this movie. White people are like, when is it appropriate for me to see this movie? Because I don't want to spoil it with my white privilege. And then, right. But then you got black people that were like, get the fuck out of the theater. Don't let us have our moment. And it's like, Jesus
easy.
Fucking Christ.
Oh,
like,
easy. That's very easy.
Wouldn't you want fucking everybody to see it so it makes a shit ton of money so more movies get made like this?
Hey, Joe, here's the thing what we realize with those people. They're fucking morons. They're morons. They are morons. You know what I mean? And I get, and if any black person say that, and I'm going to say 8 out of 10, we're joking with you. We're like, get out the movie theater, white person. I'm just playing. Come on in here, man. What's up, brother? Yeah. Usually we're playing, but those the other two, they're really fucking, they're morons. Those people are morons. Then you got but when you say the white people who, okay, I appreciate you guys trying to say stuff about your privilege. Shut the fuck up and come in here.
Just watch the goddamn movie. Jesus Christ.
That shit blew me away when I saw that. I was like, it's a fucking movie that everyone wants. It's a superhero movie. Everyone wants to see it. Who gives a fuck what color you are?
All I'm saying is,
you know what I mean?
Be like Martin Freeman. He's the white guy that just wants to help out and have fun. So
I think black people do have to realize in a way, and this is not me talking now to us, I think we have to realize that we did have the way we carried ourselves in social media was very obnoxious. Really, very obnoxious. Still is obnoxious. Still gets on my nerves. But, I mean, no, it really does get on my nerves. Everybody, because there are a bunch of black people act like they never seen a black superhero before. I'm like,
I know, right? And you hear all these people going, Black Panther is the first black Marvel hero, and I'm like, so y'all just say fuck War Machine and Falcon then? Y'all just say fuck Blade and Storm.
Me and D said that shit too. I was like, hey dude, I'm pretty sure Falcon and War Machine is just sitting back in Wakanda like some bullshit, right? You see this shit? See this shit?
This is some garbage.
Dude, I'm like, my main thing is, so like all y'all saying all this, like, so y'all ain't say shit when Media Man was fighting the niggas from the Golden Lords. When they're saying nothing about that, y'all ain't gonna mention that scene, that famous, beautiful scene. We're not
Robert Townsend blessed us with not one superhero movie. He blessed us with 2 superhero movies. He did one for Disney. People forget about that shit.
And look, and I'm gonna go ahead and say so far as that Black Dynamite was a black superhero, man.
Was. Yes, he was.
But my thing with that is that I think we did kind of put it on this level. This weird high level that we're gonna, and Sam said it because I actually said to Sam during this summer, this past summer, I was like, I know black people, I know how we get. If that movie is mediocre, we'll never admit it. We'll still think it's the greatest thing in the world. And when it's the greatest, and what we see what we've seen is superseded that, and a lot of us are celebrating over it. Now, yeah, some of the crap is really obnoxious. Like, look, I laugh at all the people dressing up like people from Coming to America, but look here, King Jaffe was a dictator, y'all. Don't do that. Don't do that. All of Zamunda was poor except the actual family. All right, come on. When you have your son's picture on money, that's not a good thing.
Hey, can we be real about it though?
That reeks of a freaking monarchy, of a dictatorship. Right there, man.
Can we be real though? Vanessa Bell Calloway, she would definitely got M'Baku when she was starting wolfing and shit.
I know, right? I know, right? Son, my thing is this: I get it. I get why people dressed up like it because it's fun and all the rest of it. Some of that shit, like I said, some of it is obnoxious as hell. But I think a lot of people really want to feel some type of way. It does, and as much as you kind of overreached it when you said like when Obama got voted in. No, it wasn't that bad, but I mean, it wasn't that like monumental, but it still have this same type of vibe of that they were proud of who they were. They were proud of being black. They were proud of, we had this moment and all that. Yeah. And my thing, I only have one thing to add to that, and I really fucking mean it because I hate it when we do it for one thing and not all. We currently have Black Lightning on the air. I need all of you to watch that, and it's not like it's a show. If you haven't watched, this black image of a superhero, go for all of it. Just don't go for one. You go for all of it. Yeah. But I know how we get. We're just only going to put our all in Black Panther, and then, unfortunately, the Jon Stewart movie is going to come out, and none of your motherfuckers are going to see it, and that's going to really make me cry.
Right. Speak, D. Speak.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's like, look, I think Black Lightning is fine. I think it's going to be one of those things where people are going to look at Black Lightning as like the cable to Black Panther's DirecTV, which fucking sucks, unfortunately, because I mean, and that's the thing. It's going to
be that way because that's just, but that's the prejudice that we. Not even I won't even say prejudice. Prejudice among book fans because it was DC, and then you got some people who was like, let's just be honest, it doesn't have the backing of Disney. And even if they don't even know Disney done it, they don't see it on TV everywhere they go. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. Of course, it's going to be like that. It's going to be like that. I think everybody that has seen it, every casual fan that has seen Black Lightning likes it. And my thing is, if you love Black Panther, then you're going to love Black Lightning. Trust me. Trust me. You're not going to go on with neither. It's weird that we're in a that's the thing that really pisses me off, that we're in a golden book. Some of them are actually, by every sense of the word, good. Yeah. Some got their flaws. Some had villains. Some had third act fights. But you know what? We seen Spawn, Batman and Robin, and we seen The Shadow. We're good. Trust me, we're really, really good right now. So I don't know.
We are in a good place at this point when it comes to that. Like, I hope we get.
And when you have a standalone movie like Black Panther doing what it's doing, that's amazing. That's amazing, man.
All I'm saying is this: to end off the show. Hey folks, stop asking for Storm in the sequel. Stop. Just stop.
CJ, I told you on Facebook, man. You're gonna let these people have that one couple they know about from Facebook memes. You're gonna let them have that.
Why would you want that, people? Why would you?
Oh my gosh! You know what? I hope they do put in Storm. Put in Storm, man. You know what? Double down on T'Challa being an asshole. Have him fall in love with a white woman. Just do it. Do it.
God damn it.
Why would you speak that in existence? Why would you want those think pieces? How dare you, sir?
Hey, because I would die laughing. So your name is Nastasha. Huh, that is beautiful. I would love that.
No. It's not going to be her. It's not going to be her. It's not going to be her because, hey, he wants a white chick with powers. He's going to go Captain Marvel.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Because I'm an anarchist. I like to see shit burn. Yes. Dude, let me have that. Let it happen. Make it so.
You are a captain, are you?
It's like I'm the captain now.
Shut up.
Oh look, it's already bad enough. I have it in the back of my head, and I really mean this. The way Shuri looked at Bucky at the end of that movie, God, don't you do it.
Don't. Do not.
Down.
Do not.
Look, see, by you saying that, Prime, you felt the way I felt. Thank you.
I was like, yo, not.
I saw that shit too, and I was like, they bet the fuck not.
Yo, cause
look, I seen this on Arrow. I seen this on Flash. You better not do it. Not do it.
Because I like, yo, Shuri was like looking at him like, never seen a white guy before. Got the beard and hair look.
Look. White is the most thing to her. So she might want some vanilla.
Yo, hey, she told Bucky, hey, I have lots to show you. I'm like, I'm sure you do.
I bet you do, girl. I bet you do.
Yo, are y'all really going there with the Wolf and Shuri situation?
Dude, look.
Really?
You know how many... Look, come on. You watch CW shows. You know how many people have been trying to ship Diggle and Black Canary? Come on now. You need to
his boyfriend got killed. After his canary got killed, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Joe, the second he died, I was like, yo, show if you dare. Because now there's an open lane to Diggle. You better not.
And here's my ass. I'm over here still going, so why is it that the CW is allergic to Green Arrow and Black Canary? Like, you did this shit on Smallville. You sitting here dicking me around for 5 or 6 fucking seasons on Arrow. Like, why are you allergic to my OTP? Like, what the fuck?
We need that publicity. We need olicity. That's why,
Man, look. See, this is what happens when the fangirl says yes, and Stephen Amell was like, "Look, dude, I'm trying to keep the show on the air as long as possible, so we don't get."
Do you ever see his face? Do you ever see his fucking face when he panels and motherfuckers ask him all listening questions? Like, do you see like the life just completely sucked from his soul?
Oh my god, it was so because it was so cool. It was cool. Season 2, season 3, he was fine with it. Coming into season, like, oh, for the love of God.
So can we talk about Ra's al Ghul, guys? Not Olicity? No.
Dude, you do.
You guys belong
together.
We got
a crossover coming, right?
I'm like, I'm fighting fucking parallel world Nazis. You asking me about who I'm fucking marrying? Are you fucking serious right now?
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, that is another conversation. Because Prime, me and Chris, we are building up for the Flash Arrow podcast we're going to have at the end of this season. Because this season, because both shows have been so good, but at the same time, a lot of crap has been pissing us off.
And I mean, like, it's like they give it with one hand, but then they shit in my mouth with the other. You know what I'm saying?
Here's my thing, right? If we're gonna tie this all in the Black Panther, so let me get this right. So Shuri can put the suit in a fucking necklace, but we can't get the fucking Flash suit in a goddamn ring.
Hey,
you teased me that shit in season 1, and the fact that I still don't have it, I'm mad as fuck.
Hey, I told both of y'all. I done told both of y'all. Look, we spent all our CG on Gorilla Garage. Shut the hell up.
Like, I guess they're like, okay, here's an idea. So, do you want the ring or do you want King Shark and Gorilla Grodd? Which one? You can't have both.
Fuck. Can't have both.
Can't have both.
And you know what happened this season? It was like we got enough to get you the ring. All right, cool. But, and I want everybody to give a vote on this. Damien Dark comes back on Legends. Dude, you can't do that. That's man.
But hold on though. The rights for Return on the Mac. So you get that.
I don't know, player. Got to put my vote in the hat. Let's draw straws.
I gotta get Damien Dark back, bro. Look. Only you know what somebody said. Only if he's singing "Return of the Mac, then I can.
So did you hear that shit that him and Barrowman they want to do a fucking Legion of Doom sitcom spinoff? And I'm like, where do I sign up? Who do I send money to for this to happen?
See, that's an idea.
You don't see how look. Already bad enough that I told Prime the other day, like, yo, dude, they added on a Sunday. I'm just saying, this is the perfect time to add Boots and Gold and Blue Beetle together. This is the perfect time to do it. Okay, what the origin story is, you can do it. But, yo.
What I'm tripping off, like, the fucking president is like, we don't want to become a comic book network. Like, y'all are like, you're 5 slots away already. I'm like, just accept it. Just let it happen.
Nigga,
just let it happen.
You got fucking Archie. You already a comic book network.
You fucking comic book network. Just let it happen.
Already our comic book network, dude. There's no. Just go ahead and add in one product. It ain't gonna hurt you.
That Vampire Diary shit is gone. So the only young adult shit you got right now is the 100, and even that shit is about to fucking come to a close.
If I'm mistaken, this is the original's last season. So look. Y'all either add in more vampires or you're going to give us another comic book.
Or split the middle. Like I said, been saying for years. Split the middle. Give us both. Do American Vampire. Go to Vertigo. Just go to Vertigo.
Go to Vertigo and get American Vampire.
Got iZombie, so fuck it.
I'm saying, just might as well
yes,
stop
they
fighting
do.
it.
I just
stop fighting it. Yeah, stop. Just why you fighting it? Let it happen naturally. It's already happened naturally.
Or look, just real talk. You look, but we're gonna lose the female audience. No, you're not. Here's what you do. Give us Constantine. All the women will come back. Trust me, they will.
Give us Constantine and give us Princess Amethyst. Let's make it happen.
Make it happen, bro. Make it happen. See, this is how you get on. See, if this was Marvel, they would have done that shit already. That's all you got to do.
With that, I want to thank Sam. I want to thank Joe. I want to thank you guys for jumping on. Did a live show on Facebook. We had like a lot of people put comments in there and stuff. It was fun.
Oh my gosh.
So thanks, you guys. Thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. And so we will catch you guys later. Peace out.
That's good.